Wait, here we go again. Oh. Hello, everybody. We're lagging a little. We're getting there. Hold up. It's I was gonna say earlier, I was like, hey, wow, this is amazing. This is the first time it's been since, like, I have 0 frames skipped due to rendering lag, and I have 0 skip frames due to encoding lag for the first time. And then the moment I switch over to the screen, it starts dropping. I was gonna be like, wow, it's the first time I've had OBS open and I'm not at 100 CPU. And I'm like, never mind. Hello, everybody. Hi, person watching. I like your name. Hello. How's everybody doing? Hello, hello. And hello, people. How was your your week? I guess your week so far. How's it been? Anything anything exciting? Anything new? Anything? I feel like this week is going by super slowly. I just feel like I was like, wow, this week feels super slow. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about this week. I ate teriyaki noodles. Ooh, yummy. That sounds good. Teriyaki noodles are good. I like the what's it called? Yakisoba. There's the what's it called? They have yakisoba. No, they also have like yaki udon. Those are really good. Or okonomiyaki. Kind of boring week though, not gonna lie. Yeah, I don't know. This week just feels really slow. It's so what do you say? I feel like the months from January to like April feel so slow to me when we start off in the year because there's no holidays. There's nothing really to look forward to other than like, yay, New Year's, and then the moment New Year's is over, you're like, oh, what is there? What major holidays do we have other than like holidays that we don't have days off on? We've got like Valentine's Day, and then everyone's like, oh, if you're not a person who celebrates Valentine's Day, there's no point, and most people just aren't too into Valentine's Day. Most people don't really make it like a whole event. No one's throwing Valentine's Day parties. That's usually something you do with like one other person. So it's not like an exciting event to look forward to. And then like what do you have in March? Like St. Patrick's Day? It's not really like if you're not a drinker. If you're not a drinker and you're not a university student, like there's nothing really to look forward to in March either. It's just like, oh, it's another day. And then some people are like, oh, yeah, we're green, whatever. There's no major event that happens on those days. And then what do you have afterwards? April Fools, and then January, March, April, May, June, April, May. Nothing happens in May. May, June, maybe June is like summertime, the start of summer. And then July. I realize you're insane. Why in a white room? Why not? Why not? I have so many different backgrounds, and I figured it's been a while since we've been in here. I was testing something out earlier. You'll see it later in the future, but I added a couple of cool things that you will see later. Not right now. I mean, it's not completely white. There's a table behind me. Look. See? I've got a lamp. I have a table. It's not completely empty. We've got some stuff. We have options. There is, there's a version of this doors, but this one doesn't have any doors. I think it's nice. Thank you for the follow, Ice King 1098. Hello. No, we're not insane. It's just fine. It's normal. What category am I in? Okay, I'm in just chatting. Good. I thought I was. I thought I was still stuck in the Wingin virus from last stream. I was like, oh man, am I still in the game category? Never mind. I always wonder, like, how do people, if you're in a really niche game, how do people find your streams? Like, I'm pretty sure last week I was the only person streaming that game. I don't know how people were finding me. Do you just browse categories? Like, on mobile or something. I don't know how it works. Hello, Zerbis. How are you? Hello. I don't know how that works. Like, I get on YouTube because it just randomly recommends people, but on Twitch, the algorithm's basically non-existent. I don't know how people are just finding things. I realize that if I'm at this specific angle, it looks like I'm hanging from the ceiling. Like if I'm right in the middle, right here, and I don't move, it looks like my head is attached to the ceiling because of the lamp. I can't stick around. Wanted to say hi and have a lovely stream. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you for stopping by. Have fun, whatever you're doing. You want to know what I did this weekend? Well, first, I was working on school. I had something due on like Sunday. And let me tell you, it was like a last minute rush. I was trying to finish everything at the same time. And I don't know if I did very well. So I'm just thinking to myself, like, I don't know. When you're doing schoolwork and stuff, at some point you're just kind of like, when is the school feeling gonna kick in? When are you gonna be like, oh man, I gotta work on school. There's like a certain point, like during the school year, I think it's around midterms for me, that it starts to really kick in, where I'm like, oh, I look at my grades. I'm like, oh no, I really gotta lock in now. So it's taking a while. School's been going for what? 3 weeks now? It's week 4, week 3. I gotta lock in. I have to be like, I need to like do better. Hello, hi Excellent. How are you? It's been a while. I was like, I really need to lock in and focus on school, because I looked at my grades and I was like, oh boy, not good. Hello, hey Peanuts. How are you? Hey guys. How are you both? How's school? How's it going? You doing well? Did you finish school? I don't know when you guys finish. I don't finish until like, what, next year? Next year. He hates school. I'm still in. Oh no. Yeah, next year. Yay! Like the end of next year, really. Because I still have, what, fall, and then I have winter, and then I have fall again. I'm so sad. I just want to be done. I was like, school. I'm really not looking forward to this fall. I'm gonna have so much to do. I have 2 in-person classes that I have to go commute to. And I don't like in-person classes because they're like 3 hours long. And sitting there, falling asleep. I was staring at myself earlier, and I realized that my hair is like uneven. I just realized that. I was like, why do I always look crooked? I was like, oh no, it's not me, it's my hair. I'm gonna miss the grind when it's over. Why? I just want to be done. I want to relax. I miss having free time. Well, I still do have free time, but I miss having more free time than I would if I was just working than when I was working and doing school. I have 400 to 500 level classes in the fall. Yay. For me, in the fall, it's more like, I mean, it's not difficult. I know the courses aren't difficult. It's just annoying because I have to transit. What's it called? I have to travel. And I don't like traveling. Like, I like everything to be near me, and I like things online. Because then I can come home and I can just work on stuff. But no, I have to go sit there and listen to a lecture that's 3 hours long and then have discussions afterwards. Sometimes it's nice though, depending on the professor I get. Sometimes they give us food. But yeah, most of the time my classes end at 10, and then I gotta go home, and I'm like, oh, immediate bedtime for me. Then I have no time to do anything else because I'm like, I come home at 10. Well, no, I finish class at 10, and then I come home at like 10:30, and then I'm like, well, I guess just go to bed. You know what I was doing earlier? I was playing Genshin earlier because this is what I've been doing when I get home from work. So before, my routine for life, right, in general, when I come home from work, I would go lie down in bed, like immediately afterwards I get home, I go and lie down in bed and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna crash. And then I would take a little nap. And sometimes I would sleep in and I would like, I don't know, fall asleep until 8 p.m. And then by the time I have dinner and everything, it's like 9 or 10. What I've been doing now is that I come home and I just do my Genshin daily. I've been doing my Genshin dailies when I go home from work, and I'm like, all right, time to lock in. Hello, FUCKs, how are you? In the back rooms today, huh? Yeah, in this room. Not echoey enough, isn't it? Yeah, I can make it echoey. Echo. Wow. Not echoey enough, but you know. I'll turn it off. I'm sitting here in silence. Why is that? It's so quiet. What is happening? Music? Hello? Audio? Ah, there we go. There we go. Now it's not so creepy. We're sitting here in silence and like in absolute silence and like with no music. No, we're just having a time, you know, spending time together in the interrogation room. Look at this. The interrogation room with a single lamp and a single table. And here's my notebook, see? I can take notes. I'm a therapist today. I'm a therapist today. Hey guys, how do you feel about that? Did you take a gap year from high school to college or you just got into it? I went straight from high school to college and then I took a little break because, you know, the pandemic. And then I tried to look for a job. Couldn't find a job because I had no experience, and then I just went back to school. So I kind of took a gap year. Yeah, a little bit. I was like, You know? And also I did a lot of interviews, so what they called them, like informational interviews, where I talked to a lot of people in the field of my study, and I was like, hey, how did you get your position and what would you recommend me do? And every single person just said like, do more school. I said, oh, okay. It's either like it's somebody you know or like, you know, school. And I don't know what the purpose is. Like there's no purpose to having extra education other than like wanting to learn more, but I feel like the stuff that I'm learning isn't the same as like experience, because like if you're like the only purpose that this piece of paper has when it comes to a degree is just they pay you more and that's it. They're like, oh, you have like a PhD or whatever, let's give you more money, and that's it. It's not that you have any more experience, it's not that you have any more like technical skills that you've gained, it's just a degree. It's mostly networking. Yeah, I have relatives with like really interesting jobs. Off topic, I don't know. I have people who are like really interesting jobs in my family, and then they're like, well, that's fine. Hey, what are we talking about today? We're just talking about random stuff. I'm talking about my school. And then I was also talking about my home routine, that when I get home, instead of like going to bed, like lying down in bed and passing out and taking a nap before dinner, I would just go. I've been playing Genshin for like an hour and maybe half an hour, just doing my dailies and doing like events. And honestly, I've just built up a streak of like logging in when I get home. It's like, you know, 20-30 minutes, just doing a couple domain runs, doing a couple like really short login events and stuff, and I'm like, oh well, that's actually pretty sustainable if you just do a little bit at a time. And then if I don't finish in time, then I just log off. I looked at my account though. I tried the what's it called? I tried one of the endgame contents, the not Malice of Wonderland. It's the stage play one in the book, the fairy tale book one. I forgot what it's called. Good Goyim? Good morning? I was looking at my account. I was like, dang, I failed at the 4th floor. I could not get past it. It was so sad. And then they were like, oh, add characters. And I looked it up and they said, you need characters who are over level 80. I have maybe 10 characters who are level 80 because I've never bothered to level up anybody else. And everybody else is sitting at like 79. Everybody's sitting at 79 or 60. So I was trying to do this event and then they were like, oh, you have like maybe 10 characters that you can add to this event and you need at least 20 to make the full use of the team, because how this like, it kind of works like League, where you have a floor, you pick a card out of 3 of what you want to go and like, oh no, that's my bedtime alarm. Good morning, hello. How are you? Hi Yashi. Welcome. Stopping by to say go sleep now, take care. Good night, Yashi. Thank you for stopping by. Hello. Good night. Wait. Wait. Good night. There you go. But yeah, I was doing that endgame content and I was like, wow, I can't get past a certain level because how it works is that you gain characters based off of like cards and then you add to, so it's like you do like a challenge, right? You pick a card like out of the 3 and then sometimes they're like, oh, you fight this monster, you fight these enemies, or you have to do like a tower defense type of thing, or you gain a character. And every single time you pass one of these events, you gain a character if you fight enemies. And every single character you can only use twice. Every single character has 2 energy charges. And it's so, like, they give you a couple of trial characters to work with and you can borrow a single one of your friends' character. You can't pick multiple. So it's your own teams and whatever they give you. And I'm just struggling. I'm like, wow, I have no characters that I can use. At one point, I just struggled to get through like one of the end floors because I just couldn't do it in time. I was like, oh man, this is so bad. I'm switching between both you and career streams on my phone. Oh no, it's okay. If you want to go, honestly, if you want to go watch other people, I don't really mind. I have my VOD. This sounds complicated, but it's probably not. No, it's not. I just don't have enough characters leveled, and then I have no DPSs either. I only pull for support characters because I like my support characters. I think they're pretty and they're more versatile. But then I looked at my account the other day and I looked at my characters and I was like, oh man, I can't really do domain. I suck at certain domain runs and certain types of bosses. Everybody dies. It's like a hit or miss. It's like either we all survive and we make it to the end because they managed to like get everybody's stuff in time, or we all die. It's like if one character goes down, everybody goes down because my whole party is just built off of supports. I was like, I'm just running around trying my best to survive. I just prefer playing support as well. I love support characters. I think it's nice. I like to stand off to the side. Like whenever I'm in co-op domains, I like to bring like Nahida or Farina, and I just stand over to the side. I am a really good Farina main. Like, I'm a really good Farina support. Like, I know people complain about Farina not switching to healing, but I am really good at playing a healer. I'm like, I went once and oh my god, sometimes co-op on Genshin is like hit or miss, because I was doing one. Tell me why I would join a domain and then this is like a level 90 domain. You need at least a level 90 character. I'm fine with my level 80 characters because, you know, my supports are whatever. I don't have any characters level 90. Tell me why I go and I join and I bring a character. Let's see here. Who did I bring? I brought my level 80 Nahida. And you know what my other teammates bring in this world? Somebody is like, oh, you brought like level 80 Nahida. You know what I'm gonna bring? Level 40 Chi-Chi. And like a level 30 Bennett. And like some other like level 50... Who did they bring? It wasn't even a good character. It was some random ass character. I was like, what is this team? I was like, guys, why are you bringing these low level characters for a level 90 domain? And of course, we join. We get there. My entire party is wiped out so fast. I am the only one left just running around fighting for my life. And I can't do damage because I'm playing as like a character who can't do damage. I can't do anything with Nahida. Nahida doesn't do damage, she's a support. So I'm like, oh my god, guys, why did you bring these characters? What happened? You had perfectly fine characters. They just decided to switch to some random character. I was like, what are we doing? Guys, what are we doing? And the reason with the level 80 Noelle, honestly, Noelle's not that bad. She was my first DPS when I first started playing Genshin. Like when I very first started, my team was like, I had Noelle and then Bennett and then I think Fischl. I had a lot of force, and maybe Amber, I don't know. But yeah, she was my very first DPS. And I really liked her shield. If you are in combat and she uses her shield, you heal the entire team. Did you ever try ZZZ, by the way? No, I can only handle one gacha game at a time. I don't know. I prefer open world games, and I prefer open world like combat, I suppose. Like, you know, combat where you get to run around and you get to like do things. You get to run and sprint and like jump around monsters. Or enemies. I dropped Genshin for ZZZ. I love the combat. Ooh, I've heard good things about the combat in ZZZ. I know people said that every single character's jump animation is pretty unique. I just don't like anything else about ZZZ. Like the exploration is locked to certain areas. And then like every single story arc feels a little disjointed. I don't know. I don't like the storytelling. Hello, Spooky the Bead. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in, raiders. Hi, raiders. Hello. How are you guys? I am just chatting about gacha. Hello, what were you guys doing? Just chatting. What are you guys talking about? What are you guys talking about? We're talking about gacha games. I'm talking about Genshin. I'm talking about my routine. Like when I get home, I play Genshin, and then afterwards I go to make dinner, and then after dinner I go work out. I've been working for half an hour every single day. I've been doing so for the past like 2 weeks, honestly. It's a really good habit. It's a really good habit I'm building. I've just been working out for half an hour every single day, and if I miss a day, then I'll just do an hour the next day. Damn. And then afterwards, then I work on my schoolwork. And then sometimes I stream. There we go. To be honest, that sounds healthy. Yeah. So I work out, I take a shower, I get ready for bed, and then I do school or stream. To be honest, right now the ZZZ story is disjointed because it's a tiny year of lore for it, like every Hoyo game. Really? I don't know what that means. ZZZ is garble tunnel gameplay. Ooh, I don't know what that looks like. We were doing an assigned reading, a contribution to the study of the collective representation of death by Robert Hurt. What? I've never heard of that before. What is that? Like some kind of school assignment? Is it a study? What is it about? But yeah, if you need to go, like, you know, go to the bathroom, eat, drink, do whatever you need to do, need to read and run, yeah, feel free. Thank you for stopping by. And Raiders, please take care of yourselves. That sounds healthy, yay! I've been doing segments of Uma Musume runs for my exercise daily, wow. How does that work? Do you just run when the horses run? Sounds like you're working in healthy habits, that's cool, yay! This year I wanted to do, well, this year one of my goals for myself was to be more healthy. So I've just been exercising more. I mean, I was exercising last year, but it was more of like, I would come home and I would just be like, oh, today feels like a push-up kind of day. So then just go and I'd go to the floor in my room because I have a carpet in my room and I have a yoga mat. So I'd straight go down to the floor and I just lie there. I have accidentally fallen asleep on the floor a couple times like that. I don't know, I wouldn't recommend. I'm like, ooh, yoga mat on the floor, time to lie down and fall asleep. So I go, but most of the time I just kind of like do planks or stuff or stretches. Although now it's more like I'm going to, what's it called? I'm gonna exercise, like do cardio and stuff. So that's nice. I've also been trying to cook more. I've been trying to do more cooking rather than just having what's it called, pre-made food that they sell at, like, you know, this pre-made like processed food. I've been trying to cook more, so I've been doing that this year as well. So I've been making things like what did I make recently? I'm trying to remember. I made I don't even know. I don't remember. What did I have today? I made spaghetti. I made spaghetti and meatballs. I tried making gnocchi. That didn't turn out well. Have a good luck at work, FUCKs. See you. It's a foundational research paper for my thanatological studies class. I'm trying to be an anthropology, science communicator / educator. Ooh, interesting. Thanatological. Interesting. I've never heard of that one. Anthropology sounds fun. I didn't actually take an anthropology class. I have taken the anthropology of tourism course because I like taking sociology courses as my electives. I like taking sociology and I like taking sociology and I like taking, what's it called, psychology courses. Theology was required for my high school degree. Thanatology, the cultural study of death. Ooh, that sounds really interesting. I know one of my school had not the study of death. It was a psychology course talking about the study of evil. It was basically like, not specifically criminology, but what makes people evil. And I didn't take it, even though it sounded really interesting to me. But I really wanted to take that course and I never did. Now I'm thinking about it. Did sound interesting. Cooking is fun. Pre-cooking your meals for the week also tastes better than pre-made meals. Yeah! I remember back during the pandemic, I was watching a TikTok of this lady who made her own instant noodle cups. And it's pretty interesting. What she did was that she took those like really thin rice noodles, broke off the little bundles that they came in, and would put them in mason jars. And then she would take like a spoonful of, like, she would stuff it with like fresh vegetables and like whatever vegetables, like bean sprouts, bell peppers, and all the stuff. And then she would put her seasoning and flavors, like a scoop of like miso or whatever, into the bottom of the thing. And then she would store them all in the fridge, and whenever she wanted like a little bowl of soup, she would pour hot water that she boiled into the mason jar with the dry noodles. She would close the lid, shake it a little bit to dissolve the soup, and let it sit in the hot water for maybe like 5 minutes. And then it's like, ooh, instant cup noodles, but healthy version because you basically make it yourself. And it, you know, it's a lot less salt or whatever. Never too late to learn. A lot of professors upload their lectures on YouTube for the casual learner. True. Not my professors though, they consider it against academic integrity. They're like, you cannot upload any form of our intellectual material online, wherever, because it's considered against academic integrity. And I was like, wow, it's kind of sad. What happened to learning? Although I do know that Harvard and a couple of other schools out there do offer free courses out there for things like that. I started cooking for myself again, but honestly getting groceries is the annoying part for me. I don't think getting groceries is annoying. What's annoying for me is processing vegetables. Or food prep is the most annoying for me, like cutting meat, cutting up vegetables, cutting carrots, cutting potatoes, peeling everything. It just takes so much time. I'm fine with the cooking. Cooking is fine. Cooking is fast. Preparing ingredients just takes forever. Like I'll be like, oh, I really want to make this recipe. I want to make this recipe. And then I go and I start making it, and like 2 hours later, I'm still cutting vegetables. I'm still cutting, I'm still boiling, I'm still peeling. I was like, ah. Or even, like, I like to make a lot of stews and soups. So it's like, I do all of the food prep and everything, right? I let it sit on the stove, and it takes an hour to simmer on the stove. So I put everything in the pot, I cook everything, and then I was like, okay, now to just let it sit. You let it sit on the stove for a little. But the good thing though, at the end of the day, it makes a huge pot. So you have food for days. It's really nice. I really like making gumbo. I like making chicken noodle soup, but I make like a really big pot of them. And then I can get it stored in the fridge for multiple days. The more food prep you do, you get really fast at it. Oh, not me. I'm really slow with a knife. Although it could be me and the knives I use, because like I don't want to use like a super sharp butcher's knife. I like to use my dinky little steak knife. MIT OpenCourseWare does it, probably the biggest variety courses. Plus, if you currently aren't in a school, you can always take the CLEP exam for the college credit for whenever you do go back to school. Ooh. Interesting. I've never heard of that because I am in school, but that sounds fun. I know that there's like stuff out there for people who want to do school. Also, by the way, if you are considered a student, like let's say you go to a school for a free university, like for places with free education programs that you can enroll yourself in, like Indeed courses or whatever, and you have an EDU email, you can sign up for a bunch of student discounts. So just so you know, if you ever want to keep doing school, free student discounts. Rice cookers are goated for making the rice perfectly every time. Yay! I was watching a YouTube video of a lady using a rice cooker to make instant like rice cooker meals. It's kind of like an Instapot, but like for rice cooker. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. I have an Instapot. I don't know where it went, but apparently you can use the rice cooker to do the exact same thing. Using a steak knife to cut is definitely making prep so much slower. Probably. But like, I don't really want to cut myself. Rice cooker pancakes are so fluffy. I've never tried that. I saw, like recipes, like this lady was using it. Apparently there's a recipe where you can, she said it's really good. It was apparently like a viral TikTok recipe, rice cooker recipe. So you cook rice, and then you buy KFC. So you buy like the 4 or 5 piece thing of KFC chicken. You'd peel off the skin so that you could make it like, so it doesn't get soggy in the rice. You cook the rice with the chicken in it. The whole thing. You take the KFC with the skin off and you put it in the pot of rice. And it's just like regular washed rice, right? With the water. You let it cook with the chicken. And then once it's done, you can just peel the meat off the bones and it just comes right off. And then because the chicken's already seasoned, it seasons the rice too. And then you can just mix it all together with the chicken and the rice. And then if you take the skin off beforehand and you like pan fry it or you crisp it up in the oven, you can just mix it in. Sounds like you're seasoning your rice with KFC. Yeah! That's what the recipe is. That's basically what it is. You're mixing your rice with the KFC chicken. That sounds interesting. I've never tried it before because I don't really get KFC all that often. But I was watching a YouTube video of somebody who's doing that. They were trying out like viral TikTok rice cooker recipes. I was like, oh, that sounds really interesting. Or like you could make curry in your rice cooker, apparently, if you take your vegetables and then you add your curry cubes and you just close the lid and add some water. I love one pot recipes. Yeah, me too. You can make mac and cheese in a rice cooker. You can make mac and cheese in a rice cooker. You can make like rice pudding in a rice cooker. I have an Instapot, and then you can do so many things with an Instapot. Like I've made like fried rice in an Instapot. I have made, what's it called? I forgot the name. I've made a lot of stir-fried dishes in my Instapot. I put a little sofrito in my rice. What is a sofrito? I don't know what that is. Are you talking about like the scorbito? Like the, you know, in paella when they have like the crispy bit at the bottom of the rice and the pan when they cook paella? I'm thinking of a different word, but it sounds similar to me. I don't know. You know, like the crispy part in the paella, what's it called? I don't know. It sounds like that to me. I mean, there's a lot of recipes that I want to try making. I've been making Asian food for the past couple of years. The Asian market that they go to is basically everything you need. Ooh, also the food is easier on my stomach. True. I find the issue with Asian food though is a lot of Asian food tends to be really salty. It's a cooking base from Puerto Rico. Ooh, I've never heard of that before. It sounds interesting. I wonder what the flavor profile is. Is it like tomato? Is it like curry? Asian food's nice. Honestly, if I were to pick a favorite Asian, or not, if I were to pick a favorite specific type of cuisine, I guess Asian. Like any type of Asian, like Korean, Chinese, Japanese. That is Taiwanese. No, not Taiwanese. Thailand? Thailandese? What are Taiwanese people called? No, not Taiwanese. Vietnamese? Like all Asian cuisines are really good. Like Filipino, oh gosh, Hawaiian. I would do more Asian food if the Range 99 wasn't 15 miles out. Oof. I was so lucky back when I was in school living in the dorm by myself that the Asian grocery store was maybe like 3 stops away on a bus. I was super lucky. I would just be like, I'm gonna go to the store. I feel like getting Asian snacks. And I would just go down and I would go to the Asian grocery store and I would just come back with so much, like so many Asian snacks. I'd be like, I get my jellies, I get my chips. And in the same plaza they had the Asian grocery store, they had a bulk barn. Well, this is Canada, but they had a bulk barn store and I could like get a bunch of candy there too, so that was really nice. If you get the fresh ingredients and make from scratch, you don't get much salt. True. Whenever I go to I grew up going to restaurants with my family, and then the thing that they used to say every single time to the waiter was like, can you make it less salty? Can you add less salt and less oil? They would say it every single time we went to a restaurant. They were like, just add less things. There's been an online debate going on right now on Twitter. I don't know if you guys have seen. They were like, why does restaurant food taste so good? And everyone in the replies was like, it's because they add so much salt and butter. You're always just like, why does this taste so good in the restaurant? It just doesn't taste the same at home. It's because they add so much butter. They do not care about your health in restaurants. A fresh mixture of onions, cubanelle, peppers, garlic, cilantro, ajices, dulces. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, even though I know French. Ajices dulces, cilantro, culantro, tomatoes, and red pepper quickly chopped into a fine paste is a good descriptor. Ooh, that sounds good. I don't know what an ajice. Well, that sounds like milk. Something milk. Sounds good. Anything with like peppers and all that sounds nice. Also because they fry everything. True. You ever go anywhere to a restaurant and you're like, wow, what did they do to this thing? Oil. So much oil. I've always wanted to go to a county fair, and you know how they talk about like the insane stuff that they do at festivals in the U.S. They're like, oh, have you ever tried deep fried butter on a stick? I was like, no, I want to try that. Well, I don't know if I'd want to eat a whole stick of butter, but like some of the things out there I really want to try. Like, I remember when people used to make fun of the US, they were like, oh my god, Americans eat weird things, like a donut, but it's like a burger. And I was like, I've never had a burger in my life. I want to try that. I want to try a burger donut. I want to try like corn on a cob that's been fried. I want to try like a corn dog with like a bunch of cheese and a bunch of relish. Like, oh my god, American food sounds so like, it just, I don't know. Some fair food just looks really good. I got told me by my doctor I'm low in sodium, so I've been adding more salt and stuff. I don't really like oversalted food though. True. I find that the more you cook, like cut stuff out of your diet, and you try it again after a really long time, it just tastes so different. You're like, whoa. Like, let's say that you haven't had salt in a while and you had a really bland diet, your taste buds just kind of even out. So now, like, if you have something super salty again, you're like, whoa, this is really salty. Versus, like, if you have it all the time, your tongue is kind of bland. Like, as a little treat to myself, when I go to work for my lunch, I bring a little container of chips. And then for my lunch, after I finish my lunch, I have, like, a single chip as a treat, you know? And I'm like, whoa, this is so salty. The flavor is so strong. And I was like, it's just a singular chip, but I'm like, whoa, the flavor. Ahise dulce. Nice. It's type of sweet pepper. Ooh. I add a lot of spice to food, but never been big on adding salt. True. I grew up not really having a lot of salt in food too, so my food's always been pretty bland. The only thing I really like is when adding like spices to foods. I like to add like onion powder, I like to add garlic powder, I like to add like white pepper, black pepper. I've actually, when I was as a kid, I used to never really like a lot of spice. So I used to really not like black pepper. But now that like, I guess I've been cooking, I've been adding a little bit more black pepper because once you cook it, it just doesn't taste, ow. You don't really taste it. Thank you for the water break. Ooh. I almost waterboarded myself there. I was taking a drink from my water and then I tipped too much into my mouth and then I almost choked. So, close one. I love pepper, but not so much dried black pepper. What kind of peppers are there? Like, are you talking about... Are you talking about bell peppers? That water went all the way back to the back of my throat. I like dried black pepper. I don't really like spices though. I'm not really too good with spicy food. Like, I can tolerate it now. Like, I can have a little bit of gochujang. But when I went to Korea and then every single meal had kimchi on it, I just could not finish it. I was like, I love Korean food. I just cannot eat this kimchi. I would sit there and I would struggle. I was like, spicy. I like bell peppers, but more for spicy, slightly spicy peppers. Ooh. I don't know. I don't really add spices to my food. I have, chili pepper flakes. What I call cayenne pepper. I add a little bit of cayenne pepper if I'm making something with, like, soup. Like, I'll add a little bit of cayenne pepper to chicken noodle soup because it adds a little bit of heat and it makes you warm. Like, I like to add ginger and I like to add cayenne pepper because it makes you warm inside. It likes a little bit of spicy, but not too spicy that it's like, you know, too hot to eat. But just a little bit of spice makes things nice. That rhymed. Also, garlic, onion, bok choy, and ginger are good additions. Yeah. Knowing just general food science is pretty interesting to me. It's one of the things that I kind of picked up after cooking for a while, and I was like, oh, like for example, if you are cooking okra and you want okra to be less slimy, to cook it in a little bit of vinegar, like white vinegar, to make it less slimy. Or if you're working with something really acidic, to like add baking soda. Just a little bit of baking soda to kind of like even it out, or add some sugar. Actually no, if you're making something really salty, add sugar, it'll even out the salt. If something's too sweet, you can add some like sour. And if something's too spicy, you can level it out with some sugar. Or sometimes sourness too helps with spiciness. Although you kind of want to balance it out and make sure that it's not too strong. So like knowing food science and how that works is pretty interesting. And it's a lot of taste testing. How's everyone doing today? We're doing well. We're talking about food right now. How are you? We're talking about food prep. We're cooking at home, I guess. One thing I really like having about cooking, I guess, is just being able to flavor stuff and just being like taste testing stuff. Being like, oh, what should I add to make this taste like this? Or what should I add to like give it a more of like this type of flavor? My favorite spice though, I really like smoked paprika. Although I heard that paprika is just roasted bell pepper powdered. Besides having a friend stealing a group of what? That's crazy. What the heck? How's everyone doing? We're doing well. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you guys find the money. Paprika is good. It is. I think it's nice. I don't know what it tastes like, because every single time that I go, I'm like, oh, I wonder what paprika tastes like. I'm gonna go eat a handful of it. It's like a really mild flavor. I always stand by, if you're gonna cook with an ingredient, taste it just to see what it tastes like and just kind of know the flavor profile. So I'll just eat spices by themselves. Like I'll just stick it in my mouth and be like, do I want to add this? And see what it tastes like. That is crazy. I don't know what's happening over there. Tarama. Do you ever have a friend group when you guys are planning a trip and it never really goes anywhere? You're just like, hey guys, we've been saying this for the past 5 years. We're like, hey guys, let's go to Japan. Let's go to Japan for like a trip or whatever. And then every single year without fail, everyone goes, yeah, we should do that. And then we never go. We never get it. Because my friends are like, oh, I can't afford it. I've started working. I'm doing other things. We're all busy. I was like, oh my god. Hello, Jordas at Taiwan 4318. Hello. The group chat Japan trip is a universal experience. It really is. Everybody's like, yeah, let's go to Japan. And then we never do. He spent the money after confronted in the escalator and drawing a knife at me, threatening to stab. What? That's crazy. What the heck? Wow. I think you should go to a small claims court. Get a lawyer. I'm kidding. That does not sound like a friend. Probably not, no. I know. We've been talking about this for a while and it's like, wow, we should do that, and then we don't. But it's okay, we'll do it one day, we'll figure it out. My friends are saving. I hope they are, I don't know. There are people who are like kind of, let's say, slightly irresponsible with their money, and I'm just kind of like, oh, that's okay. I mean, whatever. You only live once. Not the type of person to like sell it, like not the type of person to like really spend a lot on things. Like I'll be like, oh, the most I'll spend on something is maybe like if I have something that I really, really want. But most of the time I'm not gonna be like, oh, I wanna go to I'm gonna go every single week to a concert and spend $500. I was like, no. Saving is tough for me. I spend most of my travel money to see my nephew. Oh, that's nice. It's not worth it if I just took the money out of my bank account, lying to actual friends saying I got the money back. What? No, you should get your money back. Why? That's not right. I feel like you should get your money back. Well, I mean, they spent it already, but like, sue them. Hello, thank you for the follow, the toucher. Wow, what a name. Hello, how are you doing? How are you doing? Yeah, saving's tough, especially in this economy. Everything's expensive. Well, I don't know, not for me. Most of the stuff that I don't really spend. I'm not a big spender. I'm planning next week. On the weekend, I'm like, ooh, next week is Valentine's Day. You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna be doing? I'm gonna go to the store and I'm gonna go look for Valentine's Day chocolate on sale. And I'll let you guys know how it goes. I'll be like, I'm gonna go look for discount Valentine's Day chocolate. I miss going to Walmart and then going to the bargain bin like the weekend after Valentine's Day and being able to find boxed chocolates that are 50% off, and they don't do that anymore after the pandemic. It's just gone. Prices in the US are crazy right now. True. I mean, then again, I also lived in a small town, so maybe that affected the availability of things. I lived in like a university town where everybody was single. Everybody was single and sad, so, you know, not really everybody's buying Valentine's Day chocolate, but I had a great time. I had a great time. Prices in the US are just, I don't know. I remember for a while people were talking about the prices of eggs. I think they've gone down now. Depends on where you live. I know especially rent in the US is pretty bad, but food, I think it's always been the same. It just seems like it's more expensive because we're experiencing shrinkflation, and also we're experiencing like inflation. So it sucks in both parts. 3 discount candy times are Valentine's, Easter, and Halloween. Yeah. Walgreens still has crazy low prices during the holidays. I've never been to Walgreens. I thought it was like a drugstore. I've never been. I think the Canadian equivalent is like Shoppers Drug Mart. At least I think so. I'm abducting a woman for Valentine's Day. I think you're better off just like making a really fancy candlelight dinner and then taking a dog and then putting it across from you and being like, oh, what brings you here on this lovely night? Do people do that? Do people have like Valentine's Day dinners or things? I've always treated just Valentine's Day as something to have like a normal day on. You're like, oh, it's Valentine's Day. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stay home and treat it like a normal day. And then the day afterwards, I gotta go get candy. Or when I was a kid, we used to do like Valentine's Day candy exchanges with everybody in the class. So everybody would have to bring in like the amount for every single person in your class to get a piece of candy, and everybody would do the exact same thing. So you would get a huge pile of candy on Valentine's Day, and I would get to go home, and then I would just, it's like Halloween for me. I would come home and then I would bring home all of my candy that everybody gave me, and I was like, yippee! I would get a lot of like Fun Dip, and then I would get like little Laffy Taffies, and then I would get lollipops that are shaped like hearts, and sweet tarts, and the little candy bracelets, and the really powdery chalky hearts that nobody really likes, but I kind of liked. The really powdery chocolate, like the chalk candies that have like the XOXO love you written on the hearts, the conversation hearts. I like those. I don't know. They taste like chalk. They taste like nothing, but I still like them. There's also another candy out there. That I don't know if this is Canadian or the US. It's called bottle caps. They do not go in the, you can't dissolve them in water. I've tried, but apparently what you can do is that a long time ago, you used to be able to like dissolve them in water, and when you put them in a bottle of water, it would release bubbles. Because they're called bottle caps. I don't know if it's a US thing or Canadian candy. I had to look it up. I get things confused between the two countries. It's a drugstore, but sells a bunch of stuff like cosmetics, candies, decorations for your house, and toys, and a bunch of other random stuff. Oh, I feel like there's a lot of stores like that, like Target. Maybe. You suddenly give a sweet tooth? Ooh, maybe. I don't really have candy a lot. It's just when I was a kid, I used to really like it. We have bottle caps in the US? You do? Is that a... See, I grew up going back and forth between the US and Canada all the time. So whenever I have my childhoods, I just confuse them. Because I'm like, was this a Canadian thing or was this a US thing? Bottle caps are in the US? I love them. Ooh, nice. I remember those. They're kind of like sweet tarts. They're like sour and then like crunchy. We used to have these things in the what are they called? They're not called Smarties in Canada. They're called Rockets. They're basically the same thing as Smarties. Which Smarties are better? The flavor? Like the color? I like the white ones. I like the white ones. Thank you for the follow, Gluttony200. Thank you. Welcome. I hardly eat sweets anymore. My appetite for sugar went down the older I got. True. I feel like the older you get, the more you're like, nah, too sweet. Like, I don't... Okay. Canadian Smarties or US Smarties? Oh, you meant that. Okay. Canadian Smarties are not called Smarties. Canadian Smarties are chocolates.
Hello there.
Canadian Smarties are chocolates that look like M&Ms, but they're really big and they have a harder candy shell. So if you're talking about Canadian Smarties, you're talking about a chocolate. If you're talking about Canadian like version of US Smarties, those are called Rockets. They look the exact same. Smarties and Pez are still my favorite candies that I still like. I've actually never tried Pez before. I've never had Pez. I was too poor to buy those. I'm kidding. My parents were not the type of people to get that. Hello, Shokupan. Hello there. It's basically pure sugar candy. Ooh. No, my parents were never the type of person to buy that. They were never the type of person to go get the, what are they called? The checkout counter candy. You know when you check out and you see like the candy just sitting there on the shelf before you check out? My parents were never the type, even though I would look at it and I'd be like, ooh, I really want to try this. They would be like, no. They'd be like, you have candy at home. You have other things at home. We have food at home. It's like, So I never got to try it. Dropping by to say hi while I do errands. Hope you have a wonderful stream. Thank you. Good luck with your errands. Have fun. Thank you for stopping by. My parents never bought me candy. I would only get during the holidays. True. Yeah, ads. Anyways, while everybody's gone, you know what I gotta talk about? One sec. My water. You know what I was been doing the other day? Oh, I just saw that message. I'm surprised that word isn't... I'm surprised that word is allowed on Twitch, you know? You would think that Twitch would ban certain words, but they don't. Anyways. 1 second. You know what? I have to really go to the bathroom. Goodbye. Alright. All is well in the life of worlds. Everything is good. And they're so loud, why can't they be chilly ads? Oh, sorry, chill ads. I thought you said chili. It's like, oh, Chili's. I actually don't really go, I don't go out for fast food a lot. Let's see, where is my thing? Ooh. Anyways, what was I talking about? Ooh. I was trying to record for a song earlier. I was trying to record for music. For like a cover. And it was interesting because I sent it to my mixer because I had somebody helping me with my mix, and then they were like, oh, it's really, really quiet. And I'm realizing that I have a problem that when I'm singing, I'm like really quiet. Because like half of it is probably because me not wanting to be super loud. And then like just, I don't know, when I sing, I just have like some kind of mental restriction where I'm just like, oh man, I can't be super loud because then it's like gonna be really extremely awkward. Even though internally I know that I can like certain notes are really hard for me to reach because I'm intentionally not being too loud, and I'm like, oh man, this is really like that. I was like, I could probably sing this better if I was louder, but I can't. So that's sad. I had McDonald's for the first time in a few years last weekend. Really? I have never had a fast food burger in my life. I just don't like burgers. I don't know. Anyways. The same thing for me too. My parents would never get me candy. I would only get it for holidays, like if I was trick-or-treating or if it was like from other kids giving it to me for Valentine's Day. The only candy I ever got at home was like when my parents would buy those healthy fruit snacks, you know, like the Welch's fruit gummies and stuff like that. They'd be like, oh, why don't we have candy at home? We have fruit snacks. These are candy. And I was like, well, that's not really candy, but my parents are the type of people to call that candy, and they're like, it's candy. I was like, it's not really candy. Now my parents would buy dark chocolate too. They'd be like, well, we have chocolate's here. We have dark chocolate. I was like, it's not the same. It's only during special occasions that I was able to get candy. Because I remember my favorite memories as a kid was when my dad would be like, we would go out and do like a really long like day doing like a lot of errands and stuff that I would go with my dad to go shopping and stuff. And then in the really, really hot summers, we'd have good memories, and my dad would be like, oh, let's go to the gas station and go to a 7-Eleven and we can get slushies. And I'd be like, ooh, slushies. And so that was nice. Good times. It's pretty good, but way too greasy. I can't wait. I can wait for another few more years. The only thing I like getting when I go to fast food places, the only time I like going to fast food places is to get chicken nuggets or to get soft serve ice cream. Anywhere else, I will not get any type of food. Unless I'm really desperate, like if I'm going to a convention in the morning of and I need like a sandwich, then I'll get like something from Dunkin' Donuts or whatever. But most of the time, nah. I just don't really get food. Although I will say that the Arby's, they call it the Arby's curly fries, are so good. That's the only fry that I've ever like had, and I was like, oh my god, I think about them really often. But I've never been to an Arby's ever since. Like the waffle fries at Chick-fil-A are in the curly fries at Arby's are just so good. I still think about the curly fries at Arby's. Arby's is good. It is! Did you ever find needles, drugs, or firearms in your candy while trick-or-treating? No. Who's giving that away for free? For free? I would love to have drugs in my candy. I would be like, hell yeah, for you know how much that costs on the street? Hell yeah. But no, my parents checked all my candy as a kid. They would make me dump it all onto the table when I got home from trick-or-treating, and they would inspect every single thing. And then I had to sort through it. I gotta sort through it and be like, okay, I want this candy and I don't want this candy. And all the candy that I didn't want, either my parents would keep and they would eat, because I never really liked peanut butter as a kid. So all the Reese's Pieces stuff I would give to my dad. And then the candy that I did like, I would keep, and then stuff that I didn't like, I would give it to my parents, and I think they would donate it because they always donate candy. And also, realistically, they give you a lot of candy during Halloween, so you can't really finish it all. I wish I found firearms or drugs in my candy. That would make things much more exciting. Hello, Sal. Thank you for the steer. Thank you for the 2-month sub. Welcome back. Hello again. I'm pretty sure that on Discord, the role automatically removes after a week. I did look into it. It says it automatically removes for people who don't like resub, so don't worry about that one. So picky? It's not picky. It does stay, really? It doesn't? Does it like auto remove you, or does it like keep you on there? I don't know. But then there would be more people on there in that list. No, it auto removes. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was concerned. I was like, I think there's more people out there. But then again, not everybody joins the Discord server, so. Arby's curly fries and Reuben are pretty much all I'll get from there. I don't know what a Reuben is, but the curly fries are really nice. My dad always stole half my candy after Halloween. Depends on what kind of area you go to, you always get a lot of candy. I go to Arby's and spam chicken sliders. Ooh. I would go, and I like the roast beef sandwiches. They have like a roast beef sub with, I think, onions. Like caramelized onions and roast beef. It's really good. The only time I ever got to have fast food was when I would go on road trips. So my family would drive the entire way, like a really long distance, like a day and a half, back and forth between Canada and the US border. So I remember as a kid, often, like for holidays, we would drive back and forth between the borders. So it'd be like, okay, it's time to go visit like family over in Canada. So we'd just we'd just drive all the way there. It's like a day and a half. So every single time we would do a road trip, I would get fast food, and I remember being on those trips being like, yay, McDonald's chicken nuggets. It's like a once a year thing because I never ever got it. It'd be like, yay, what do you want to eat for dinner? McDonald's chicken nuggets. I would get a Happy Meal. It was really nice. They really do put a pound of beef in a burger for $7.50? Really? I don't know. I don't really get burgers. I like green. Hell yeah. What's your favorite fast food place? I don't have a favorite fast food place. I don't really like fast food. I guess I have specific foods that I like from fast food places, I guess. Like, I like going to McDonald's for the nuggets. I like all fast food chains because of the soft serve. Like, Burger King has a really nice soft serve. Wendy's, I've never really been to, but I know Wendy's has a really nice soft serve / like, what are they called? A Chili's? A Freezy? I don't know what they're called. I fuck with In-N-Out on a level people who consume fast food wouldn't understand. I've never been to In-N-Out. Frosty, okay. Frosty. Did I ever tell you guys the story of how I got into a car accident over Frosties? McDonald's milkshakes are the best? Yeah, I like the sundaes. Although, I really like the cones. My local burger kind has gone downhill. I'm surprised they haven't gone out of business. Ooh. I remember there was a place called like, that has every burger place that only does burgers have really good milkshakes. They have really nice milkshakes. I've heard that apparently Denny's has really nice milkshakes, but every single time I go to a place and they're known for burgers, they always have really nice milkshakes too. Not Burger King, but what's it called? Burger Shack? Shake Shack? Is it called Shake Shack? Burger Palace. I don't know, there's a lot of burger places called that. And they have really nice milkshakes. Steak and Shake, oh. Shake Shack? I'm really confused. I don't know, there's so many of these names. Maybe Shake Shack, maybe Steak and Shake, I don't know. I was somewhat disappointed with Shake Shack. I've never I don't know. I don't go to these places for the burgers. I go for the milkshakes. I go for milkshakes. Also, the Burger King nuggets are interestingly flavored because the Burger King nuggets taste like black pepper so strongly. I went there once and I was like, oh, I'll try the nuggets. And I was like, whoa, they put a lot of black pepper in here. Go to In-N-Out, their shakes are probably one of the best besides Five Guys. Ooh, oops. My phone fell on my keyboard. I've never been to In-N-Out. I've never been to Five Guys. There's a lot of places I've never been to. Ooh, you know what's a nice place that has nice chicken tenders? Zaxby's. I went to Zaxby's once. Like, when I was at a con, I tried it. I was like, ooh, they have a really nice, they have a really nice milkshake. Like, they have a really thick milkshake. As well as, like, a really nice chicken tender deal. I think you can get 3 chicken tenders for $7. I love fast food. I didn't get to eat it a lot as a kid. I tried many places I could as an adult. Me too, yeah. I only got to eat fast food whenever we went on really long road trips. So that's the only times I ever had fast food. Just to be like, hell yeah, this is awesome. But then as I get older and I went to places and I tried them, they just don't hit the same as a kid. Thank you for the follow. Get him 40 con now. I can read late speech, yeah. Hello. Hello, Stormwolf. Welcome. Hello again. Hello, hi X-Night Gaming. Welcome. Been so long? A little bit. Maybe like a week. I don't know. When you have fast food as a kid, it feels like really nice. But then as you get older and you're like, I still remember like the taste of chicken nuggets that I had as a kid at McDonald's. And then now when I'm older and I buy it and I'm like, it just tastes the same. Now I'm sad. That makes sense. As a kid, your palate isn't that evolved, so everything tastes new and exciting. True. I remember really liking the chicken nuggets at McDonald's. But now I'm like, nah. When I was a kid, I used to eat a lot of Burger King. Ooh, I've actually never been to Taco Bell. Did you know that? Names get me a taco now, or taco for sure. Oh, that's an E. Oops. Oh, sorry, I mispronounced your name really badly. I go to local places 99% of the time as an adult. Ooh. Is Sonic the place that has roller skates? I remember hearing about that when I was like older. I remember hearing about that later. I learned about Sonic and I was like, wow, that sounds so much fun. I've always wanted to go to Hooters. I was like, as a girl, I've always wanted to go to Hooters. They had roller skates. Do they not do it anymore? Aw, they used to, but not so much. Wow, I'm sad. Is the Checkers the place where you can park your car like the Cars place? You know, like in Cars, you know the movie Cars. It's like a gas station. Is Checkers that place? That's Sonic? What? What's Checkers? I've never been. They up and disappeared my local Hooters. The whole building and the foundation is gone. No! I've always wanted to go to Hooters and be like, oh, maid cafe. I want to do oshikatsu at a Hooters. My grandpa took me to Hooters when I was 7. Yeah, it's the American version of a maid cafe. I've always wanted to go and do oshikatsu there. I want to like, I don't know, take a little plushie of like a little character and take that to Hooters and have one of the waitress ladies like to What about femboy Hooters? Oh my god, I remember that used to be a thing. I don't know, not really too into twinks. I like the idea of it in art, but like in person, I look at a twink and I'm like, oh, this person looks like they look emaciated. Do you think Chipotle counts as fast food? Is Subway count as fast food? I don't know. What counts as fast food? Instead of Hooters, I go to Ojo's Locos, which is like Hooters but more Hispanic. Ooh. I've never heard of that. Oh, look, fast food. So fancy. Unfortunately, drawn femboys are usually more attractive than real femboys. True. You know when you get pop-up ads and you're looking at illegal websites and then all you see are like, you know, like Stacy 2 miles away wants to see you. I used to get those, but I also used to like, you know, you get an in-between like your parents don't want you to see this, or Stacy 5 miles away. Sometimes I get like twink ads too, because they think like I'm a guy. So I get like hot single twinks in your area, and then I get like a huge blown up photo of a dude's ass in my face, and I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, wrong demographic here, but okay. Would you prefer looking at like dick? Or would you prefer looking at like something else? I ran ad blockers so long I never thought that was even a thing. Oh, if you're trying to watch stuff on mobile, you get ads. So bad. Nowadays it's like create your own girlfriend stuff. Yeah, it's all AI. I'm really sad. What happened to organic? What happened to organic ads? Where is my where is my 10 million like hot moms in your area? Hot ladies. This question. Listen, if you're gonna have to see ads, like, well, I don't want to see that. I remember my mom, she used to complain to me. She would be like, I wish they would show like, why do they always have to show like either women's like boobs or they have to show like dick? She's like, I don't want to see penises. Penises are ugly. Why don't they show vaginas? I was like, good question. I don't know. They weren't real either. No. Wait, those ads. You know those ads for like the adult games that you used to see on ads, like the porn ads. Are those games real? Do those games exist? I've never wanted to like click on them. I've never actually seen that if they were real ads or like games. Do those exist? Are they real? Kingdom is real. Brave blocks 99% of ads without an add-on. Really? I don't remember seeing those. Like, I have ad block, yeah, on my browser, but on my phone I don't. Meet and what? It's on Steam? These games are real, they're on Steam? So when you go onto a computer and you like look and you click on like those ads that you have on those websites, and do they take you to the Steam store page? That's a thing? There's so many Goon games on Steam. Oh, I have those filtered out of my search, so I never really get those. I mean, I see like dating sim games. I know there was one that was talking about like the Emoto one. The little sister dating sim that was going around. Brave Mobile has ad block built in. Ooh, I've never used that. Hi Burson, hello Solarium guy. These ads are the main reason I barely watch anime these days. You just gotta deal with them. It's a part of doing that, you know? It's a part of watching anime, just experiencing the whole... this experience. I don't have blue. Becky have blue. Becky have blue. You know that meme? The parrot, the bird. My ex used to be obsessed with Goon games and they were interesting to say the least. The only goon game I guess I have is Crush Crush slash Blush Blush a goon game? I feel like it's more of a dating sim. I'm alive, it's lunch break, welcome back, VC Gays. I hate when it's a pop-up tab every page, oh yeah. I don't like the pop-up ads. You know what I'm notorious for doing though? I have a bad habit of whenever I see ads for mobile games, I will just download it straight from the pop-up, and I don't know if I've ever gotten a virus from it. On mobile, I have like a collection of those really bad, you know, those ad games, and they're like, oh, this game is so hard. I have like an urge to just buy and download it and be like, I'll prove you wrong. And then I download it. Solarium Guy, if I see you again. You were here last stream, I remember you. What, okay, see you again. I remember you. What? Yeah. You've been here before. You just followed afterwards. No, you were here last time, I remember you. Part of the problem. Like, I can click on your profile and I can see when the last time you chatted was. Dang it. I remember you. I'm trying to rid my mind of these thoughts and flashbangs and not helping the slightest. Oof. Too many VTubers? Oh no, it's okay. Honestly, if you've clicked onto the stream of a certain VTuber on Twitch, they'll recommend it to you again in the future. This is what happens to me when I'm at, I open up Twitch mobile on my phone, I click on like a stream, I watch it for a little bit, and then I close it, and I come back the next day, and I'm like, they're still there, they're still streaming. I'm like, what the heck? I want to see different people. I want to see new characters. Well, not characters, oh my god, it's not a gacha game. I want to see new people. I want to discover more VTubers. I was playing gacha games instead of gacha games. Listen. If I'm going out there and I'm like playing, I don't know, god, what's like water pour simulator? Like the third, like the sand pour ones, or like the match 5 games. I'll download it, I'll play it for like 2 hours and then I'll delete it right afterwards. Gacha games are just as good as goon games? Really? Oh, what's that game? Guys, do you know the game where they shoot Nikki? You know the games where they shoot and then like you can change angles? You can like change POV so you can watch them from the back or the front? Yeah, Nikki! Is that a goon game? Is that considered a goon game? The goddess of victory. Yes, okay. No. It is. Is it or isn't? Hello, Eastender man. Welcome. Why not Stellar Blade while you're at? I've never heard of Stellar Blade. Technically, yes, but its story and events are peak. Is that the one with the character? Her name is like Cinderella? She has like a really cool like outfit and stuff, and she has a really sad backstory, I think. She's like an android. Yeah, Cinderella! I remember I used to see figurines. I used to get figurine, what's it called? Advertisements? I follow a couple of accounts that do anime figurines. And then the Nikki figurines look so pretty. It's a goon game, but they keep everything covered. Listen, I am all for the argument that people who are fully covered can be more sexier than people who are fully naked. Like, have you ever seen Bayonetta? She is in like a full body skin suit. She has all their skin covered. She looks so sexy. I want to return to the Mafia style goon games. What you need, boss? What? I have a Doro pillow, a Cinderella right next to me while I'm watching stream. Yay! You lost me at Bayonetta? Why? She's got a full body cat suit. You know? Some people don't have to show skin to be cool. Right? Have you seen their bazookas? No. I don't play Nikki. I don't know what that game is. All I see is like anime figurines of the characters, and then occasional like gifs, like not gifs, like clips of people playing the game, and then like when they do like this, I don't know what the gameplay's about. All I know is that when the girls are like shooting, you just see like stuff jiggle, and that's it. Apparently they added guys to the game. Did you know? They have dudes. Gender equality. You get guys whose ass shake, but apparently the dudes are so flat. The dudes are so flat that like nothing's happening. In Nikki, apparently. Or like there's some rip-off game similar to Nikki. It has similar physics. Bayonetta's suit is made from a hair. She's canonically naked all the time. Yeah. You should look up Snowbreak. I've heard of that one. I've heard of it. Most likely a different game. Yeah, probably a parody. There is a game out there where you can do a rhythm game, but instead of like a rhythm game where you tap on notes, you slap this dude's you slap dudes' asses. It's great. There's a game out there like that. I forgot what it's called. Chaos Zero Nightmare. I've never heard of that one. There's a game where you can slap dudes' asses to the notes of a song. It's great. Stellar Blade. I've never heard of these games. I'm not really one for gachas. What about Zenless Zone Zero? I've never played that game either. I heard good things about the gameplay and the movement. People said that it feels very nice. I don't know, there's not a lot of games out there that could get me to play them other than being like rage bait games. Like, do I want to play Zenless Zone Zero? No. But do I want to play, like, God, what is the last game I downloaded on the App Store? Let me look at my phone. Here's my purchase history. Let me see what games I've downloaded. I've downloaded Color Blaze Shooter and Solitaire Associations. Let's see here. I've downloaded more. Triple Match 3D. Foodie Sizzle. June's Journey Hidden Objects. Lock. Honestly, the Hungry Hearts Diner is a pretty cute series. I downloaded that one. Disco Zoo. Crosslet, the Anagram Puzzle. Color Block Jam. Zoo Restaurant, Bus Out. Tory Note. Candy Crush. Cake Sort. Penguin Sushi Bar. Fine Sort Match. So if you're ever like, why, what kind of games does Kyo play on her mobile phone? Ads. What baits are you downloading? Whenever I see ads on my thing recommended and it gives me a app to play and trial, I will click on it and I will just download it. I will download whatever I see. And if it seems interesting enough, and often half the time like the gameplay isn't even that great, so I delete it. Clash Royale? I don't play that kind of game. Would you stream Tyrone Souls? I've never heard of that game before, so maybe not. I don't know. I've downloaded a lot of games over the years that I've tested out for fun. They're supposed to be coming out with Subway Surfers 2? Really? I remember Subway Surfers. I also remember Tomb Runner. Those old games that used to be a thing back in the day. Plants vs. Zombies. My favorite thing to do in Plants vs. Zombies was the Zen mode, because I could got a garden. I had my little garden of water lilies in the pool. It was very pretty. Temple Run, you mean? Yeah! Temple Run. So if I want a very bad game to be played, I just have to advertise to one person, that being you. Yeah, if you want a game and you want me to download it, just make like a game with the really really bad gameplay and be like, oh my god, I've tried 999,000 times and I'm so bad at this game. And it's like some stupid thing, puzzle, like get the car out. I'll be like, I'll do it. Those block puzzles. Garden Warfare was fun, yay! Plants vs. Zombies 2. There was a story behind it. I never really understood the full story though. It lost me at the very end when you got to the very last level and you're fighting some like... You're fighting on the roof of your house against this zombie, basically Dr. Eggman. You're fighting against Dr. Eggman in a zombie mecha suit and I'm like, what? That was fun. I miss when games were free. Nowadays I go get a game and it's like, oh, you've reached the trial version. You gotta pay to unlock the rest of it. I was like, aw. I remember when I used to have the whole game and it used to be free. Like, Angry Birds. Now they're like, oh, you've played the first 3 levels. If you want to unlock the rest of the game, you gotta pay $8. I was like, ah. The whole Harry Potter game shenanigans. Microtransactions, shakes fist. No. Oh, are you talking about Are you talking about the Harry Potter mobile game? Remember that was a thing, the Hogwarts mobile game? Or are you talking about the Harry Potter, the Hogwarts Legacy on the PC? Because there was 2. There was one on the mobile game and there's one that was on the PC. Or Xbox? The mobile game, yeah. The mobile game wasn't that great. I tried it when it first came out. When they made kids pay for energy, I never played that long. It was open world-ish. You gotta take classes, but the classes were just kind of boring. And then you like run around through like locked areas. It kind of felt like playing 3 Houses. It kind of felt like playing Fire Emblem 3 Houses where you get to run through the school. You could date the Tsundere girl, really? I never got that far. I only made it past my first day and then I was like, okay, this is kind of boring. So then I deleted it. I remember back then when Harry Potter used to be popular. I've never read a single book, but Harry Potter as a kid traumatized me. Like the movies. I remember having nightmares watching Harry Potter. Being like, oh, like that one scene where Dumbledore is like poisoning himself to get the Horcrux. I was like, oh, and then like they kill him afterwards, and I was like, oh, so... That was the first movie I ever watched of the Harry Potter series, and I remember just being really sad. A lot of things in that movie are nightmare fuel. Like, I don't think it was meant to be scary, but there were scenes in that movie that were scary. Half-Blood Prince, yeah, I watched it when I was really little, and I remember being scary because like there's a scene where they eat like a frog and the frog is alive, and I was like, no. Or like the scene where like a bunch of these birds come and attack a dude. Have you never seen any Harry Potter movie? These are the Harry Potter movies I watched. Like a dude gets attacked by a bunch of birds. That was scary to me. Hello, Leon Lagur. Thank you for the follow. That was scary. When Dumbledore is like drinking the Horcrux. The Dementors, those are scary. The ghosts. The ghosts. When they are like, I mean the ghosts are nice, but you know, like there's some that are not. And the Dementors are very scary. Like, I would have nightmares about Harry Potter. I would watch the Harry Potter movies because my parents would be the type of people to be like, you should build culture. You should watch movies that are classics. And then they would make me watch like Hannibal Lecter. Being like, oh, you should develop some taste. Let's watch this movie when you're like 12 years old. And I was like, oh. And I would hide behind the couch. For me, I put it on once, and the scene where they vomit slugs caught me off guard and avoided Harry Potter like a decade. Yeah, there's scary scenes in Harry Potter. Oh, what? Automod caught that. I've seen Harry Spotter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. What is that? Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, Order of Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, Deathly Hallows. I feel like I've watched some of them. I don't remember watching all of them, and I definitely did not watch it in order. Same thing when my parents made me watch, what's it called? Star Wars? There is a scene where... You the real whore? No... There's a scene in... What's it called? And you forgot the Forgotten Cursed Child book? Which one? I didn't actually watch Coraline until I was like in high school. I'm not scary. I watched Star Wars as a kid, and the scene that really scared me was a scene where like Anakin, Luke Skywalker, is hung from the ceiling in an ice cave, and then he has to go and kill like a really big woolly beast to survive, and he like crawls inside the insides and he comes out all bloody. And I was very scared of that one. One time my mom made me watch The Grudge in my room alone while she was busy because she thought it was the Grinch. Oh no. I was like 8. Ooh. Your Scream last stream definitely scared me. That's not scary. I think the game is scarier than that. We're gonna finish... we're gonna continue the game. We're gonna finish it on Friday. I don't know if... Well, we'll get to the scary part. But I'm almost done. I looked it up. We're like halfway through. I was like, how much longer of this game is left? Okay, we're like halfway through. We're almost done. So we'll finish it this Friday. Not The Grudge. Any plans for the 14th? We are doing a Valentine's Day karaoke on the 13th, on the Friday, next week. As for the 14th, I don't know. I'm gonna go to Walgreens, I'm gonna go to Walmart, and then I'm gonna go to like a dollar store, and I'm gonna look for discount candy. That's my plan on the 14th. You memorize the whole Omegaverse? Yeah, but the Omegaverse isn't scary. Okay, maybe like if you're afraid of mpreg and you're afraid of like getting pregnant, like what's that movie? Predator? What's the movie where the monster goes to like and then like they lay eggs inside people's bodies and they burst out of the chest like meh. What's that movie? They're aliens. Okay, it's called Alien. Okay, it's called Alien. Yeah, if you're afraid of mpreg, then maybe you'd be afraid of Alien, but like, you know. Friday the 13th is the best for horror games? No. We're gonna do emo Valentine's Day karaoke on the 13th because it's anti-Valentine's Day. As a kid, I got to watch Annabelle in the theater and that almost had me shit myself. Oof. The only thing that scared me as a kid was Thomas the Tank Engine. I was not scared of any other scary movie. Really? Thomas the Tank Engine was not scary. You should look up JJ the Jet Plane. That was my childhood. You should look up... What did I miss? Meow. That. Kitty. Kitty cat. You should look up JJ the Jet Plane. I think that one's scarier. If you're like, oh, I don't like Thomas the Tank Engine, JJ the Jet Plane. That was my childhood. What'd you miss? Nothing. Just kitty. I've actually never really... Oh, you know what another movie that I watched in theater that was like kind of terrifying to me? I forgot the name of it. I can describe the plot to you though. So there is this small town. Okay, this is gonna be a really disjointed thing because I remember watching this in the movie theater when I was a kid. And then halfway through the movie, so this guy, he's like the Lord of Winter, and he terrorizes this small town and these two little kids. And he's like, "Ah, winter is going to be forever in this town." No, not Jack Frost. And then there's this one specific scene where the kids are on this merry-go-round and they have this kind of festival, and he freezes the kids inside the merry-go-round like a wall of ice all the way around, so everybody's stuck inside the merry-go-round. And you know, at that moment I never finished the movie because there was a blackout in the movie theater, and I just spent the rest of my childhood just being like, well, I wonder how it happened to that, because I never finished the movie and I don't remember what the name was. Like, they had a blackout or they lost power or something, and they came over the announcements and they said, "Well, I'm sorry guys, the movie's over." And we had to leave. I was like, It died literally right as the moment where the dude's like terrorizing the kid inside like the kids trapped inside the merry-go-round, and he's like, "I'm gonna freeze you all to death." I was like, oh, okay. My childhood was Watership Down. Cliffhanger of Doom, it really was. I read Watership Down as a kid. I hope I got a refund. I don't remember. I was a child. I was with my grandmother, and I don't remember what happened afterwards. I remember reading Watership Down as a kid because I was really into warrior cats, and I was like, I love talking animals. I liked the Tales of Despero. I liked Redwall. And I was like, I remember asking my librarian, I was like, okay, what other books involve talking animals? And then they were like, oh, Watership Down. I was like, oh, I'll read that. Yeah, Despero. Tales of Despero, I remember that book. I had the hard copy version too. I had the book and I watched the movie. The book was really, really nice because the edges were all like ripped up, like a mouse had chewed the pages. It was really cute because in the book, if you read it, the character Despero, he likes eating the glue in the books because he thought the taste was nice. But then he figured out he could read the books on the page, the words. It's a really cute movie. I liked it. I like the book. I've read it like 3 times. Or Island of the Blue Dolphins. I really like that movie too. Not a movie, sorry, it was a book. Good movie that even kids can get. Yeah. I read Island of the Blue Dolphins, and I remember reading The Outsiders as a kid, and I remember really liking The Outsiders. Although it was really sad. The quote that still sticks with me from The Outsiders, because I've read it so many times, is like, "Stay golden, pony boy, stay golden." I was like, I remember reading that as my first taste of angst as a kid. I was like, Johnny. Hello there. Hello, hi P5 Studios. Soup. I like soup. The non-traumatizing movie that I've watched. You know what my first taste of angst though as a kid was? There is a movie called 9. It's literally called 9. And that one was scary. Also, I Am Number 4. There is a movie, it's a children's movie called 9. And that's terrifying. 9 is horrible. It's some scientist who seals his soul into 9 different dolls, and it's taken place into like the apocalypse where robots are stealing human souls. So the robots are trying to hunt down these little puppets who have this creator's like soul sealed into all of these, and every single character dies except for I think 2 of them. No, all of them die. It was so sad and scary. I was like, this isn't a kid's movie. That's terrifying. That was fine as a kid, but understanding the concept is terrifying. Even as a kid, it was scary. Like, the way it sucks the souls out of the doll's body, it is terrifying. Like, it like absorbs the soul out of the eyes and the mouth, so they look like husks. And I remember watching as a kid, I'm like, oh. I watched that one through YouTube clips. YouTube clips is crazy. Why don't you watch the whole movie? Are you talking about 9? Yeah, we are. I'm talking about how traumatizing it was as a kid. That was terrifying. I remember a book from my childhood that I've been trying to find as a compilation of short stories. The name started with Soup. Soup? Are you talking about... I mean, there's one short story out there where the lady... She's like some random lady and they're like, oh, we need to make soup for the village. And she's like, oh, I have a magical rusty nail that I will put in the pot of soup to make it magically delicious. But everybody has to add something to it. My battery's dying. Everybody has to add something to it. And then everyone has like soup at the end of the day. I don't remember. I remember the name. Let me charge my phone. I haven't watched it in years and maybe misremember. Yeah, it's 9. Trust. All I can think of is, why are you buying clothes at the soup store? Yeah. Sorry, I'm really close to my mic. Isle of the Blue Dolphins takes me way back. Yeah. I remember I had a school assignment for that one. And they were like, oh, you have to create either a poster or a brochure or something for the book. Like a modern version of it. That's interesting. I don't know if y'all knew this, but the doctor from 9 had an official Facebook account? What? When did that come out? Like 2009? Hey, what? Is it like, did they have some kind of ARG with it? That was cool. That would have been cool. That movie needs to be tagged with horror. That is a horror movie. That's a horror movie for children. What's really terrifying was the first Conjuring movie. I watched that when I was a bit older and still scared me at times. What? I've never really watched horror movies. It's not tagged with horror? No, it's tagged with like children adventure movie. Do you think Coraline is a horror movie? I mean, I guess so. Coraline is like body horror. No? Watching it when I was in high school, I remember thinking that, no, this isn't that scary, but I can imagine that people who are kids, I can understand why they would think that's scary. Like, there's certain scenes in the movie where it is scary. Like, the tunnel. The tunnel between the houses is kind of creepy. Especially at the very end of the movie where she's trying to escape the house, the other world. That one's scary. But the intro of it isn't that bad. I'll make a note of that even though you use Facebook. I should look that up. There's this one TV show I remember watching as a kid while my parents were watching. Apparently there's this ghost. This is what I remember watching, like as a kid. So apparently there's this ghost who haunts like 9 different types of kitchen equipment, and all I remember is this one scene of a lady getting possessed by a kettle and pouring like hot water she was boiling tea on the stove with and like pouring it down her throat. I was like, what am I watching? I remember being really scary though. It is creative. Apparently this ghost haunted 9 or like so or 7 or like I don't know, a random number of kitchen equipment, different types of kitchen equipment, and they took it to like Goodwill or whatever. They took it to like a thrift store, and then people who thrifted the objects would take it back to their house. And this lady who bought the kettle, she was boiling tea on the stove and she got possessed by it, and then she was like, oh, let's pour hot water into my mouth. And I don't remember what that show was. My grade in elementary school got to watch Coraline in the auditorium when it was raining during recess. We had to finish it on a different day. And apparently some kids complained that kids got terrified by Coraline. We couldn't finish watching it. Oof. I mean, yeah, I don't know if that's a thing you would show to kids. Maybe if you were between the ages of maybe 12 to 15, I think you're fine watching Coraline. I wouldn't show it to like 8-year-olds. My dad took me to Event Horizon as young teen because we both like sci-fi. Ooh, that sounds fun. Have you seen Rosemary's Baby, Real Impact Horror? No. I don't really watch a lot of horror movies. The last horror movie I watched was called The Substance. And that's not really horror. Horror. It's like body horror. It's more, like, it really is just body horror. It's not that scary. I've watched Black Mirror. I like Black Mirror. And I've watched, House of 1000 Corpses? I've never heard of that one. I avoid horror movies to a large extent. I don't like horror movies because a lot of them are just jump scares. Ooh, speaking of horror movies, did you know that there's this movie called like, with like a mermaid? But he's like, I don't know what the name is called. He looks like imagine the face of like a really big like angler fish, but like as a mermaid, but he's like a merman. And he looks like a suit. I think it's called like The House something. More gore than terror, really, yeah. My mom almost convinced me to watch Final Destination Marathon, but then I saw an ad for the newest Final Destination. I feel like Final Destination is a movie to give you anxiety and trauma. I forgot what it was called, the movie. But I was looking up the movie on Reddit, and apparently somebody out there calculated the amount of time it would take. So the plot of the movie is this. This dude is like some detective, and he breaks into like this laboratory where the scientist was making all these like weird creatures, and he sees this one character that the scientist calls the mermaid, and he's like, oh, this is like so innocuous and whatever. And at the very end, every single movie character breaks out, and then like the dude gets killed by the mermaid, which I don't know how, because the mermaid is really slow moving, but okay. Somebody out there on Reddit calculated the speed and how long it would take for the mermaid to crawl from its enclosure all the way down to where the dude was. And they were like, well, going from its speed and how long it takes to crawl, it was crawling with its like 2 arms. It would have taken it at least 15 minutes based off of the length of the hallway and all the other monsters. And for some reason, when it arrives to the scene, it's clean, so it must have like came out early or something. It had some knowledge of being able to crawl super fast. It would have taken at least 15 minutes. I was like, that is, why are people are interesting out there on the internet. There's somebody who will just calculate things. Very fun statistics. It's like, why? Like, for example, like when people calculated how much blood it would take to fill like Iron Lung, the planet, in the game, they were like, how many bodies would this take? If a human body has approximately this many liters of blood, how many people would it take to like have this much liquid on a planet? I got enough secondhand trauma from ReZero. Yay, trauma. Event Horizon has very gory scenes of body mutilation, gouge out eyes, and a hell dimension filled with pain. Oof. I don't know. I don't really like watching movies with gore because it makes me feel pain. But I like reading about it. I like reading in manga about things. I think it's fine if it's drawn. I just don't like it when it's realistic blood. I'll do it to myself. Like, I'm really good with SFX makeup. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with SFX makeup, but for me, in terms of like seeing it in movies, like there are some scenes in The Walking Dead that I cannot watch. Like, what's the dude's name? Steven Yeun? The scene where the dude's getting kicked by Nigel and his eyeball pops out of his head, that's scary. But not in like a horror way, it's just more of like, this is how bad humans can be, rather than like, oh, this is just zombies. My dream is to kick a crawling ghost. I don't know if you can kick ghosts. You know what's really terrifying? WALL-E. Humans pretty much kill the planet floating around in space forever. It doesn't feel like it's terrifying, it just feels like reality. Like that's where we're going. Anyways, I have to really go to the bathroom, so I'm gonna be right back. Hello, welcome back. Where I want to go to the bathroom. You guys can't hear my BGM when I'm in the BRB screen? No sound? Yeah, meow doesn't work on that screen. Hello, X-Night Gaming, quack. Good night. See you later, Blick Blick. Did you wash your hands? Yes, I did. There, streamer. Have a good one. I did. Meow. That was kind of like zesty. With soap? Yeah. Of course. I had time to even splash my face with water. I don't know about you guys, but are you sure about that? Yeah. My bathroom's pretty close. I don't know about you guys, but I wash my hands. Have you ever thought about splashing water with your face? Like sticking my face in a bucket of water? No. I only wash my hands on special occasions. Do you not wash your hands in the shower? Have you ever watched Courage the Cowardly Dog? No. I don't really watch a lot of TV shows. Where did my BGM go? Why is my BGM gone? I can't hear anything. Hello? Silence? Oh, there it is. It's back. What's a shower? Ooh. We're talking about TV shows now? We can. I've never watched Courage the Cowardly Dog. I've heard it's good though. Like, it's scary. Throw water in the air and jump into the water? What? Oh, there's my ads. Why would I wash my hands? That's like washing a cast iron skillet. Get rid of the seasoning. What? Ew. It's like, that's like saying, why would I wash my plates? Why would I wash plates? That's just the crust. It adds flavor for the next dish. I don't do dishes. I just eat on the same plate. What about crust? You know, you don't season your plates before you eat on them. You know, you let the previous food dry on it a little and you add more food and you let it, like when you finish the food, you just let it sit there and then you add more food. As a kid, it was a complete nightmare fuel as a cartoon, but I still found it entertaining. Bro, I don't do that. I'm just talking about it. Somebody said, like, they don't wash their hands because it adds flavor. I'm just saying, you can do the same thing with, like, oh, I don't wash dishes. It just adds flavor. The ultimate umami, yeah. What's that other movie? That's not movie. There's a TV show. What's the other TV show that's like Courage the Cowardly Dog? Is it... I'm thinking of Happy Tree Friends, but it's not Happy Tree Friends. It's like... There is a kid who lives in a house with like a lot of like monsters. Not Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls is fun. Cat Dog, no. It's like this kid with like purple hair and their grandma. And then like they live in a house with a bunch of like monsters and creatures and stuff. I don't remember what it's called. And then people have theories about it. Everyone's like, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Yeah, that one. People were like, oh my god, it's a kid in a coma the entire time. And it's like they're like either like in a mental hospital and everything they were thinking about is imaginary. Or like hallucinatory and they're just going crazy because they have PTSD. Or are they real or whatever? Or maybe they're based off of like real life kids that they were friends with who died. There's a lot of conspiracy theories about that show. I remember that one. Gravity Falls was so good. I love Gravity Falls when it came out. I miss that internet era when people were coming up with like theories for Gravity Falls as it was coming out, and there was so many ARG elements where people had like, there was all these crypt stuff and all these hidden messages and everything. It was so much fun. I love when shows do that. I really hate when people always think stories it was just a dream. True. I mean, it's just kind of, it's like, it kind of ruins the purpose of like, but then again, you could argue that maybe what's more important, the ending or the journey? I miss when ARGs were a thing in shows and people got to decipher messages and come together as a little community to be like, hey, did you guys see this frame? What does this translate to? Decipher. It means this word. This one has 4 hands. And they're pointing to the cipher. What's going to happen in the next episode? It was so fun. I miss that. You want to know an absolutely legendary show I saw one time? What? My favorite show was Zubamafu. I really liked Zubamafu as a kid. And then I also really liked the Wildcrats. It's an anime called Open Star Racers. Ooh. I've never heard of that one. Did you know that in Gravity Falls, Differ and Mabel survive only in one timeline out of infinite timelines? Really? There were so many cool things in Gravity Falls. Hello. Hi, Ashley Fansverse. Welcome. Hello. How are you? What's up? Man, I miss ARGs. I miss when they used to do that. Good, yay! What other TV show that I remember had something similar? I don't know, all I can think of right now I'm remembering is like the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared series on YouTube. I remember when that was a thing. People were like, oh my god, when this one specific episode, when they go to this time and this thing, there's like all these theories that come out. I really like when they do that in games. There's something similar, I think there's a game called Amanda the Adventurer where they do something similar. Where they have like little hidden meanings and little stories and lore and little bits. That's what I think is fun. They always do that. Amanda mentioned! Yeah! I've been watching gameplay of it. It looks interesting. I feel like Poppy's Playtime had a thing going with its storyline, but at some point it started going downhill, and I was really sad about that. It really, Five Nights at Freddy's really kickstarted a whole, what do they call it? Nostalgia horror? Not nostalgia, but mascot 90s like throwback children's movies channel stuff. Almost all game is mentioned. Poppy Playtime is like FNAF. Kind of. I mean, FNAF is not really... FNAF is jump scare simulator. FNAF is like watching multiple security cameras and you're stuck in a single room. The other games, you have to travel through areas and just kind of like run around and stuff. By the way guys, I'm not playing Poppy's Playtime. I just don't do well with like certain types of horror. Like jump scare horror games? No. The newer FNAF games of exploration, I've seen gameplay of it. I've seen people play the one with Glamrock Freddy. Night Watch? Night Security? Where you have to travel through like an abandoned mall. That one's interesting. Okay, the ones where the bots can free roam, that's scary. I don't like that. Security breach, yeah. I'm okay with like atmospheric horror. And like horror where it's just generally like a creepy vibe. Like I would play No I'm Not a Human. I like games where there's like more of an atmosphere and more of a storytelling version to it rather than being like, I'm gonna live in suspense the entire time and I'm gonna get jump scared. Like I would I would play Killer Frequency. I think Killer Frequency is fine. I think some horror is okay. But I don't like the ones where I'm getting chased or I have to hide. I'm not really good with stealth. There's one where they make you build a new animatronic. Really? I'm not too caught up with the FNAF lore. What about Outlast? No, I don't. Yeah, I don't like being chased. And I don't like, I don't like hiding. You should play Chuxi. I've never heard of that. That's funny. You don't hide, you shoot the ghost. Ooh. Is co-op Outlast Trials? Phasmophobia. Oh my god, I am so scared of Phasmophobia. If I play/watch horror games, I flinch but don't scream that hard. In fact, it's like a whoa. Depends on the level of scare. I scream. And I'm loud. So I'm sorry, guys. If I play horror games and there's jump scares, I will be screaming, so. I don't play horror games because I don't want to do that. I don't know. I don't think I would like playing FNAF. If you've seen me play Minecraft, you know that I will get jump scared by a creeper. I get jump scared by zombies. Minecraft is a horror game to me. Slenderman? I've never played, but I read the book. If Wingin made you scream, I can imagine how another horror game would go. We're not even at the halfway point of Wingin virus. There's more. We're gonna be finishing that on Friday. Scream your lungs out. No, I can't do that at 2 a.m. in the morning. We're gonna finish Wingin virus. I want to finish it. It's gonna be a little bit scary later in the future. Like in the game, we're getting to the scary parts, but I want to finish it because I like the story. I like RPG horror though. Like I'll play. I want to play IB. IB. I want to play IB one day, and I also want to play. Let's see here. I played Witch's House in the past. That was fun. Imagine a 2.5D horror game exists. What would that look like? Like a side scroller? I can't wait for more Wingin. I need to have happens to fix. Yeah, we're gonna look forward to it. I'm looking forward to it too. I want to see the ending. Gonna be a lot of running around. We're gonna be doing that on Friday. I need to make a thumbnail for that, by the way. I like how I said at this stream on my YouTube thumbnail, I put art, and then I didn't do that. I ended up yapping the entire time. That's okay. We need timestamps for screens. No, you know what I got? Ooh, I have something new. I added something. Also, hello El Charet VT, welcome. Look, watch this. So, I added a counter for stream. So, right now it says tangent, but I can increase the numbers. So I have this for my game screen and I have this for here. So I added a counter. Also, I added a couple of other cool things, like other cool plugins. So I have a set list. Yeah, my counter. So now instead of having it in chat, I can also display it on the screen. So I'm gonna remove that one. Damn. How many plugins do you have? A lot. A lot. And then I also have a karaoke set list plugin that lets me do this. Woo! Oh my god, you can see the table behind me. Legs. Wow. But yes, this is my... You'll see this in action next week. But I set this up yesterday and I was playing around with it. Just trying to get the right position and stuff. So I have this plugin. I have this plugin. I have plugins that let me do SFX. A lot of cool things on my streams. As for, let's see here. I have my tablet. This is my screen if I want to show something else, like a secondary screen and have something to put it inside. I have this one. And then I have my asset. This is my table. And a bunch of other stuff. that I'm not gonna show. My other things. Discord kid encounter? Yeah, Discord kid number 1! Wow. Hello there, hi Zero Brain Cell. Welcome. How are you? So, hello, Overwatch is a mistake. Meow. Yeah, guys, we can do like a like a Discord kid and everybody gets to meow once. You can meow once. There's different types of meows. What's your favorite animal? I have a lot. I like cats. I like rabbits. I like... Wow, there really is no cooldown to that one. I like... I like birds. I like fish. I love fish. I don't know. I like all animals. What's your guys' favorite animal? Do you guys like, what? What's your favorite, like, unusual pet? Like, animal that you like? Like, I know there's people out there who are like, I love hippos. There's people out there who are like, I don't know, coelacanths. Ferrets, ooh. There's people out there who are like, I love coelacanths. That's my favorite animal. It's like, wow, I've never heard of that before. You know what also includes a meow? Homeowner, ooh. Home meowner. I would have loved to have an attack squirrel. That would have been fun. That'd be interesting. Prairie dog. Did you know that the groundhog saw its shadow? Apparently there's multiple groundhogs too. There's a chart. There's like the multiple groundhogs across the US. They have like this thing where they're like, oh, the groundhog. Oh, meowner. Yeah. Mine is a shoebill stork. Ooh. I like watching those videos of pelicans who think that they can eat animals. Well, there's this one picture of a pelican trying to eat like a capybara, and its mouth is just like, oh. And like they're both staring at each other like, well, what now? I'm too big to fit in your mouth. That's cute. Well, I mean, probably not a fun day for the capybara, but yeah, that was funny. You can call me Mo, your model looks absolutely incredible. Thank you! Welcome! As soon as I heard groundhog, I suddenly say the groundhog in Pokemon. Groundhog in Pokemon? Which one? Yeah. Does eagle count? Yeah. Interesting. You're the real capybara? What? I'm not a capybara, that's Cappy. I have a friend named Cappy. He's a capybara VTuber. I forgot the name of the Pokemon. Which one? There's a Pokemon based off a capybara? Here, let me open up my... Oh boy. Let me open up my wheel. Uh-oh, we're lagging a little bit. Chrome is opening. I don't know why I insist on using Chrome for this, but here it is. Wow, I'm lagging. It's getting there, it's getting there, it's getting there. There we go. Now I can bring up the wheel. There it is. Ow. What's good, my gang? Hello, Maze Mayoshi. Welcome. Every time I hear unusual pets, I want to say chimpanzee because the Planet of the Apes movie and my goat Caesar. Isn't there that IKEA monkey? There's a monkey. Well, what's his name? There was a famous monkey in the IKEA advertisement that retired in, like, I forgot where. But yeah, there's like a place that has like An actual place. I forgot the name. I visited him once. George the monkey? No, there was an IKEA ad monkey. I forgot the name. You can look it up. They were a famous monkey that was in like an advertisement. / I think a movie or a TV show. I forgot what it was. They're in Canada now. Like somewhere in Ontario. At the Chimpanzee and something wildlife rehab center that they live there now. I don't know what the lifespan is though. Maybe they're no longer there. AMA! Yippee! You can ask me anything. Well, no questions related to financial matters or like, you know, whatever. You know, reasonable questions. Alright, there you go. Thank you for the water break and the posture check. I'm gonna drink water. You know, I am not. Well, that was my shoulder. What are Newton's 3 laws? You didn't redeem that one. What got you into VTubing? Specifically what did? I don't know. Liking a lot of fan art, honestly. Fan art of VTubers. And then being like, who the heck is this character? Being like, who the heck is this character? And then watching clips of VTubers and being like, oh, that looks a lot of fun. I wish I had friends. Wow, I wish people were real. Wow, I wish VTubers were real. And then I got into VTubing. So then I said, well, I kind of want to do that too. So then I started. Fan art. Yeah, it was fan art. I used to like a lot of fan art of Kaguya Luna and Kizuna Ai. I used to see a lot of fan art of Kaguya Luna, and I used to think that she was a Vocaloid because she looked like Siyu, the Korean Vocaloid, and I used to be like, oh, that's a cute Vocaloid. What Vocaloid is this? And it turns out she wasn't a Vocaloid. What is $1 plus $1? No financial questions? Yeah. Don't ask me to do your taxes. I don't know what that is. Good night, FEZGays. Good night. Bye. Well, not good night, but like have fun with work. Question for anyone: what's the best flowers that fit you the most? I don't know. Bye, Effie. Flowers. My favorite flower in general are asters. I like weeds. Like the weeds, the asters that you see growing on the sidewalk. But favorite flower other than those are like forget-me-nots, maybe. I used to really like eating dandelions. Like I used to really like sticking them in my mouth. But then, you know, they treat those with pesticides. I'm not sure if that was healthy. And then I also really like eating honeysuckles. And then I really like eating grass. I used to be like, ooh, grass. And then I'd be like, I do a really good grass whistle. All it sounds like is ee, but that's fun. Real girls are mean. That's why I enjoy internet anime girls. I don't know, internet anime girls can be mean too. Newton's 3 laws, though. Did you know that anything that you do to an object, it does back at you? An equal amount of force applied to an object has the equal amount of force back. So, in that theory, if you lick your table licks you back. If you kiss a table, your table kisses you back. Just so you know. If you're ever like, oh man, I want to love myself, kiss your hand kisses you back. There you go. What? What? It's the Newton's 3rd law of motion. Any force applied to an object does it back to you. So, if you kiss a table, it kisses you back. I don't think that's right. No, it is. It is. I asked my physics teacher this. I said, if I licked a table, does the table lick me back? And he said, yeah. It's true. Any and all of force and motion applied to an object does it back. the equal amount of force is applied back at you. That's putting a lot of optimism into the third law. It's the law of physics. It's real. Did the grass eat you too? Yeah, but I won. I came out better. I came out stronger. I won. I won against that fight. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. Man. Honestly, I wouldn't say grass tastes good. I wouldn't recommend it. Did you know that they have jelly beans? You know those like bamboozles? You know those bean boozles? You know those bean boozles? They have one flavor of those bean boozles called grass. And honestly, it's not a bad flavor. Like, out of all of the flavors in that bean boozle, I think the one that's flavored grass is the least worst one out there. The one that's flavored like vomit is like not good. Smelly socks, not good. Boogers, not good. I mean, the boogers one is kind of salty. Are you a goat? No, I'm a bird. Bean boozle in 2026? Yeah, they still exist. They're real? Yeah, they're real. Grass jelly. I like grass jelly. Those are good. What do you mean? The bean boozle? Toothpaste is the least punishable flavor. Let me look up bean boozle flavors. Is that real? What flavors? I don't know what the recent flavors are. The ones that I remember are the ones from like a long time ago. The grandma is prehistoric. I don't remember. Dog food flavor, really? Bean boozle flavors, what are they? Your ultimate guide to bean boozle flavors. Can you take us back to 2016? Yeah. I got your picture, I'm coming with you, dear Maria, let me in. I'm kidding. I remember I used to swallow them whole to avoid the flavor, really? Okay, so these are new flavors. Burnt rubber, licorice, wet dog, top banana, toothpaste, berry blue. Okay, toothpaste isn't that bad. Stink bug, toasted marshmallow, old bandage, pomegranate, dead fish, strawberry banana smoothie, liver and onions, cappuccino, booger, juicy pear, barf, peach, stinky socks, tutti frutti. They used to have one called lawn clippings or something. Am I remembering wrong? Oh, there it is, yeah. Spoiled milk, coconut, rotten egg, buttered popcorn, moldy cheese, caramel corn, canned dog food, chocolate pudding, lawn clippings. Yeah, there it is, lime. I like the strawberry one, really? Wait. I don't know what old bandage tastes like. There's one called dirty dishwasher and birthday cake. Huh. They have different editions. Listen, back in the early days when those other flavors didn't exist, I think the one that was the least worst out there before toothpaste was like lawn clippings, chocolate pudding, canned dog food. I remember tasting some of these. Booger isn't actually that bad. If you just imagine that it's like a slightly sweet and salty flavor. Like, it's not that bad. How many of these were you eating? Well, wouldn't you like to know? No, I'm kidding. Like, people would buy those and then they'd be like, oh, let's try them. Are you saying boogers taste good? No, I'm saying that the flavor of the candy isn't that bad. Like, out of the ones on here, like moldy cheese or stinky socks or rotten eggs, those were not good. The decent flavors out there were like, you know, the lawn clippings, because it tastes a little bit like grass. And I've had grass before. Do you ever make your catchphrase? What is a catchphrase? Do I have a catchphrase? Freaking boozler over here. Hey, I'd eat them for fun. I'd eat dog food. I want to see what the hype is about. I'd eat cat food, I'd eat dog food, I'd eat a true. Wow. I'd do it. Honestly, you know, it's not gonna kill me. I've eaten food off the floor before. There is no limit out there. Oh, you know what I really want to try? I want to try a milk bone. I feel like they don't taste good, but I want to try one. Because I think, like, you ever see a dog eat something and it looks really good? Or like a cat eat something and you're like, well, it's gotta taste good, you know? Like, what is so delicious about this thing that you're eating it so happily? I want to try. I want to try too. I want to try. I'll eat it. I'll eat a cat treat. Don't do it, you'll end up like SpongeBob when he tried that. Why? We go meep? Yippee! Good night. Yippee! Thank you, Ashley's Adventure. Thank you for the sub. You know, since the great... on YouTube, sorry. I felt I should clarify. Thank you for following me on YouTube. You know, ever since the Great Depression, the FDA requires that dog food and all that has to also be editable to humans. Yeah! Because people were eating that during the Great Depression. Nothing to eat, we'll have dog food. But, you know, dogs are omnivorous. Dogs are not obligate carnivores like cats. So yes, you should technically also be able to eat dog food and be fine. Like, I wouldn't recommend it because a lot of things that they put in dog food is like filler and like ash. So I wouldn't recommend it. But you can, and you're not gonna get sick from it. Worst thing I ever ate was old MRE garlic breadsticks. I've had MREs before, they're not very good. I'll eat anything though. Actually, I won't eat everything. There's some things out there that I just do not like the gnocchi I made the other day. I don't know, it didn't taste good. In the early 90s, we once ran out of food, so we made a meal out of dog food which looked and tasted just like goulash. Ooh, goulash. I've never had goulash. I've had borscht, but I've never had goulash. I'm thinking to myself, would I ever eat bugs? I feel like I have at some point, you know, at some point in your life when you're eating vegetables and you feel it crunch in your mouth and you just can't be bothered to like stop eating, so you just keep going. Or like, you know, you wake up in the morning and there's like something in your mouth and you're like, I'll just eat it. It's in my mouth. Ant. Yeah. I knew a kid. I had a family friend who had a baby. Who had like a little kid, and they used to like to collect ladybugs. And the kid would put everything into their mouth, and I just remember watching the kid just stick dead ladybugs into her mouth, and I was like, oh, okay. I probably did something like that when I was a baby, maybe. I just don't remember. I never heard those two words before. Which ones? Goulash? Borscht? If you want inedible food, just look at public school lunches today. Listen, public school lunches today are eating better than I ever did. If you if you go onto Google right now and type in blank county public school lunches, they make those public. Go to public school lunches or middle school lunches, they post those for parents to look at for the month to see that if they want to pay for the kids' lunches. They're eating better than I did as a kid. They're eating so much better. I'm looking at their menu and it's so diverse. They're like, oh, we have chicken tikka masala on Tuesday, and we have orange chicken and rice on Friday. I'm like, I never had that. You know what my lunches were as a kid in elementary school? Monday. Cardboard pizza with like just tomato sauce and like the flattest piece of cheese you've ever imagined. And then like Tuesday, we would get the thinnest burger patty with gravy and rice. And then Wednesday, all of these were paired with the sides, by the way. Our sides were like really soggy, salty beans, green bean casseroles, and cornbread. And then on Wednesday, they're like, oh, we're gonna have like little mini patty sliders of just little things of meat and bread. That's it. And like little squeezy packs of ketchup if you want. And then on Thursday, they'd be like, oh, we're gonna have... What else did they give us? A whole chicken leg. A whole roast chicken leg. That was the highlight of my week. Not that I liked it, because the chicken was kind of dry, but I used to have fun eating the whole thing with my fingers. It gave me entertainment to do in the lunch. Or if you didn't like any of the options, because they would serve 2 options every single meal, you could either pick like one, A or B, or like the third option. And the third option was like a pizza pack. And pizza pack was like a flat piece of pita bread. And then they give you a little container of tomato sauce and a little container of just mozzarella cheese and a little thing of pepperoni slices, and you eat the pizza pack cold. That was your option. Cold pizza, uncooked, unmelted cheese, just plain uncooked everything. My only hate for school milk is why did all we have to drink was milk? Hey, I like the milk. The 3 options was either... Well, actually, no, we didn't have. We had apple juice. We had regular 2% milk, we had strawberry milk, and we had chocolate milk. I really liked the strawberry milk, so I would get that. Why plain cheese? Because they want you to have cold cheese. Why did they cook it? Because it's a pizza pack and it would take too much time if you had to... They're not going to open the oven for you to stick your pizza in. No, it's cold. It's cold. But the best part about the pizza packs that I really liked is that it came with a package of gummies, and I would usually just get it only for the gummies. I mean, the pizza wasn't that bad. It's just cold, uncooked pizza. We didn't even get apple juice. We only got milk or chocolate milk. Really? Well, my school did. We would get things like that. And then they would also... Other meals of the days that they would offer was like sweet potato fries, chicken and gravy with rice. Gosh, you can tell what country, what part of the US I grew up in with the type of food that we got. Green bean casserole. We would get biscuits and gravy. And what? Spaghetti? We get spaghetti. Honestly, the spaghetti wasn't that bad. I liked the spaghetti. It was really soggy under like overcooked noodles. My favorite meal though is the chicken and gravy though. The menus do not match what is actually being served a bunch of times. I remember being served a meat patch, or whatever they're called. That was just nasty, and some apple slices that had a slimy texture and tasted well past the expiration date. And only PBJ on the side as a savior, but those would run out fast. Oof. I don't know what kind of school you went to, but my lunches were okay. What fandoms are you in the most? Right now, fandoms. Haikyuu, Genshin maybe. Let's see, what fanfics have I read recently? ORV, Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. I've been seeing a lot of Persona 5 fan art. Maybe most animes. A lot of anime fandoms, I guess you could say. Like Witch Hat Atelier, Taman's B-side was what I'm watching right now, as well as no Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man's on the side. It's not one of the things I watch a lot. I follow it because Kenshi Yonezu does a lot of music for them, but I'm mostly in like music fandoms or like whatever art I see on the timeline. But right now, Ace Attorney, Professor Layton, and Haikyuu, maybe. Have you tried baked rice? What do you mean by baked rice? Like a baked rice casserole? Ooh. I got Beta to come here. Your hair is perfect. Thank you. It's like lasagna. Ooh. I've made a... what's it called? A Milandoria. I made a Milandoria from the Sayazeria in Japan. They had a copycat recipe that was like a baked rice. It's really good. I highly recommend it. You take turmeric and butter and you cook it in the rice cooker with rice. And then you take the rice out, you lay it flat on a dish, you make a white bechamel sauce, you pour it over the rice, and then you make a meat sauce with curry, with like curry powder, with onion, and then you mix that together with tomato sauce, and then you spread that on top of your white sauce with the rice, and then afterwards you top it with, I believe, you can top it with cheese, or you can just stick it in the oven, and it comes out so good. It's really nice. Sounds yummy? It is. I recommend it. Iris out and kick back. Peak music. Yeah, I like the music. Kenji Yunis's music. I really like what they did with the first season, where they got a bunch of music creators to write songs for all the endings, like The Backrooms by Pseudo, or Chainsaw by, what's his name? I forgot the name. Natori, I think? Is it Natori? Or was it... I forgot the name. They had different outros for every episode, and that was so much fun. Every single... the ending music was different. The music videos were different for the endings. That was a great time to be like a JP music fan, because all of these music artists were making music for Chainsaw Man, and it was just banger after banger every single week. I was like, hell yeah. My favorite was the one with Power as the focus. Yeah. Different outro. Yeah, for Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man season 1. Like, last year came out. 2 years ago. No. Yeah, it was 2 years ago. It came out, and then they were doing a different ending for every single episode from season 1. It was a lot of fun. I've never seen a show did that before. But yeah, I like cooking different recipes that I see out there. They're always fun. Let me scooch over. Why am I... Oh, I'm so low. That's why. Because it when I do the flip, it like resets me in a weird position, and I'm like down here. Man, it was a lot of fun. Are there any shows that you guys are looking forward to? I mean, like, when it comes to fandoms, I think there's a lot that I'm just generally like interested in, but like ones that I'm directly a part of a fandom in, not very many. Like, I watch Pokemon passively from the sidelines, but could I say I am like up to date on every single thing in Pokemon? Not really. Like, they released a new MV for the Pokemiku series. The Pokemiku series, they had a new music video. I forgot who's the music creator that they commissioned for it, but it was nice. I like the animation, the music video. They included all the Mikus. And also, I finished watching Cosmic Princess Kaguya recently, and that was fun. It's a really nice movie. Very cute. I love Yuri. More Made in Abyss? Maybe. I'm really looking forward to Witch Hat Italia coming out. I'm so happy. Also, I've been watching Frieren. I've been catching up on that one. I've also been catching up on like Apothecary Diaries, as well as I'm looking forward to... What did I watch? The Elusive Samurai. It's on hiatus indefinitely. Are you talking about the manga? I think they're trying to catch up. Hello, Apex Killer. How's your day? It's been good. We're talking about anime right now. Welcome. Or night. It's 1 a.m. Almost. Who's your favorite Poke girl? Gosh, it's really hard to tell. Design-wise, my favorite is Flying type Miku. I really love flying type Miku. Also, I really like fairy type Miku and water Miku. But yeah, those are my favorite types. Also, I really like ghost type Miku. Ghost type Miku is really cute. Does anyone watch Windbreaker? I do. The one where they fight and they punch people, right? Sakura is the most tsundere protagonist you have ever seen before. If you're like, oh wow, tsundere character but non-aggressive, that's Sakura. But like, as a dude, that's the first time I've ever seen a guy be a tsundere. That's not like, you know, in a shoujo. That's why Favorite only gets 10 episodes this season. Ooh. I have a hear me out on Sakura. You know what? He's cute. He's got a cute personality. I was a huge Iris sim for a while. Iris is cool. She's a dragon type gym leader. Have you ever heard of the Misfit at the Demon King Academy? No? Well, I've seen it before in like the seasonal animes, but I don't think I've ever watched it. Interestingly enough, the last season, the 10th episode, was done in colored pencils. I don't think the 10th episode has come out yet for season 3? Season 2? I don't think it's come out yet. I know the ending is done in color pencil and they did it like flip note style. But I don't know about the anime because it hasn't finished yet. Good anime or not depending on your opinion? I don't know. What are your thoughts on One Frame Man? One Punch Man? I don't think I've ever watched One Frame. I don't know what that is. I thought you said Hero Academia? Which one? Straight PNT, me? I kind of freeze a little bit sometimes. For a favorite anime is confirmed it. Ooh, that sounds like a nice choice. My dad does watch One Punch Man. Yeah, One Punch Man is nice. My Hero Academia? Which one? Sakura from My Hero Academia? Are you talking about Sakura from Windbreaker? Because Sakura from Windbreaker is nice. I don't know a Sakura from My Hero Academia. I actually stopped watching My Hero I stopped watching My Hero Academia after season 1 because they lost me with the storyline. It's like watching Fairy Tail. I stopped after the 3rd season. Why? I don't know, it's boring. It's boring, it's kind of sad. I don't know, it lost interest because it's just a lot of like, it has the same growing pains as Solo Leveling where every single episode just kind of feels like the same thing over and over again and there's no actual storyline that happens. No, season 3 of One Punch Man sucked. Apparently they memed it and nicknamed it One Frame Man. Oh, yeah. It's a shame. Like, good manga can be really good anime if it's done well. There's also, like for example in Frieren, you know that one scene where she's crying? They took one panel and they extended it into a whole scene. And that's like, you know, good animation. They took a whole scene and they added more meaning to it in the storyline. There's things out there where they can make it worse, and I think manga on its own, not every manga needs to have an anime adaptation because manga on its own, paneling wise, can be an art. It is an art form. Paneling is hard. There is absolutely gorgeous panels out there that exist in manga that maybe would be cool as an anime, but I think it'd be really nice if it was just, you know, I think it can be good just as a manga format too. Berserk is a good example of bad anime peak manga. There's a lot of good mangas out there that have bad animes. It's really sad. It's like Rush Jobs or like, you know, there's really good animes out there that don't get manga adaptations. Or like there's good manga that don't get anime adaptations. Or they get one anime adaptation for season 1 and we never get a season 2, or we never get a season 3. Like, it took 10 years for Yona of the Dawn to get a season 2. You know, that's so sad. And Yuna of the Dawn was super popular. The reason I left the Tokyo Revengers fandoms, because when Breaker is the beast, then Tier, Tokyo Revengers. I don't know, I never really got into Tokyo Revengers because the storyline was kind of boring. I'm so sorry, Tokyo Revengers fans, but like I just can't get into the storyline. Same thing. Well, I never got into what's it called? What's the story about the dude? Who's the dude? He's like a store owner and he's like an assassin. He's like the best assassin ever, and for some reason every single day like this assassination organization tries to come after him to kill him. I didn't like that. I didn't like that story. Hello all. Hi Amethyst Fox. Welcome. The original for Vinland Saga was good as the original, but season 2 didn't cue the season 1 fans. Ooh. Sakamoto Days, yeah, that one. I don't know, I didn't like the storytelling. It was kind of crazy. Dadadan is a great example of great anime adaptation. The manga still has more encompassing art. True. I mean, it's hard to do anime adaptations well. It has to do like good, you have to have a good director who really knows the story. A good example of a really, really good manga adaptation would be Tamon's B-side, because of just how over the top it is and how well animated it is. It's actually brought a lot of people who are not shoujo fans into watching the anime. How are you? I'm good. How are you? My dad watched that anime before? Ooh. Panty and Stocking. The animation is pretty good with Panty and Stocking. I remember seeing a bunch of clips where they introduced the characters, and like that one scene of what's his name? God, I don't remember the name. Latex? Who was the dude? What are the names? The two guys when they transform into their human form. That transition, it was wild. That was fun. Anyways, it is 1:30 and I need to wake up in the morning and get like more than 6 hours of sleep. So I will be going to bed now. Good night. Good night, everybody. I'm gonna go to bed. Thank you, Apex Killer, for the follow. Hello. Oh my god, I'm glitching. Struggling. Oh no. Oh no. Describe your channel in 3 words? I don't know. Scuffed. Oh god, I don't even know. Scuffed, lagging, and 3 frames per sec. I don't know. You guys think maybe comfy, cozy? I don't. Funny. Missed the last part of the stream? No, it's okay. There's the VOD. I'm lagging. Help. Help. Oh. See you soon. Yeah, I'll see you guys on the Friday. I'll see you guys Friday. I'm gonna be playing and finishing the rest of Wingin Virus. And I hope to see you all there. We can explore this story. You guys have a whole 3 days to catch up on the storyline if you haven't seen the first part. Alright, I'm gonna go and do my outro. Oh my god, I'm lagging. Bye, thanks you for the stream. Thank you guys for all stopping by and hanging out with me for this time. It's been really nice. And I will see you all on Friday at the same time, 10:15 p.m. EST 2, I don't know. Who knows? Bye bye, good night. Good night, everybody. I'm gonna see who's streaming. Is Kuro still alive? EST best time zone, yippee! EST gang, rise up, rah! Oh my god, my thing's not loading. Okay. Oh no, outbreak. Stop, 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 no. Alright, outro. While my thing loads. Hello, are you gonna work? Please. Oh my gosh. Help me. Oh. Okay, it's loading, it's loading, it's loading, it's getting there. Oh my god. Every single time I go onto this thing and I go into the load into this, it's so slow. Peak outro. Yeah, I like my music. You like my music? Guru! Why did you end stream? Darn it. I don't know who to send you guys to now. Oh. Send me home where? Who? The only people that are out right now are like people who are on the other side of the world who are not awake. Anyways, I don't know. I'm scrolling, I'm looking at people and nobody is streaming. Alright, bye guys.